I don't know how clear the rain is coming in, or it's the floor shaking from the AC that somebody else has on. Don't know. But I like the rain, so I'm gonna hope that that at least gets through. Also, it's not like a premonition, but like nearly each time I've been streaming this game, hell, even Silvercase too, especially. But I I don't know, something about a game that seems very focused on conspiracy theories. Uh, it came out over a decade ago. I don't know. You know what it feels like? It feels like playing something. Welcome, Kay. Oops. It feels like playing something. It feels like playing in a playground that you've been to multiple times. And like you're used to it, you're used to the slides, and then you come back and then everything's the same. Minus the piss filter. And not by anyone's own direct fault, but the playground is now filled with landmines. Just like, oh, I remember this slide, and then you go down it, and then it sends you out, and then you land directly on a landmine, and you blow up. That's what playing this game feels like. Anyway. There we go. I don't remember what I was doing last. Oh, right, we just came back. Ooh. Okay, I assume it was doing that because it was loading. Alright, this should be my apartment. It almost feels weird playing like a normal FPS again. Well, not even really an FPS. But I'm gonna be playing it like it's an FPS. That's for damn sure. And I have no ammo. I need to remember... Oh. Okay. Shouldn't be too bad. And then H is the holster. Oh yeah, the biggest issue has been that I have no ammo.
For a lot of people, I think this is one of the best cutscenes in the game because it really shows the switch in dynamic between Jensen and Seraph. Up until now, Jensen has really been treating Seraph as his boss and following his orders, but having just found out what he found out in Montreal, he's no longer trusting him, and I think the cutscene shows it in a very visual way. It shows that tension with this part right here where he refuses to pour the cup. And it really does kind of communicate, and we had the actors recording it together in the studio. A lot of times in games you usually only get one actor in a booth at a time and they're just doing half the lines. But for us it was really
That was
important
lightning.
to get the dynamic that happens when two actors are together. And I think they had a really good time doing it together because they could feed off of each other. And the other thing that was interesting for me as a writer in this is that I really wanted to make that point and to never have from this point on Jensen refer to Seraph as boss again. And a lot of times in the beginning it's always like boss, 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 and I never wanted him to do it again. And unfortunately it slipped in just once, and I can still kill myself for that because it was the rush of doing it. We had cut like Utah or something like that, and we needed to rewrite something, and I was just rushing, and it's like and so it didn't happen. But the cutscene does an excellent job of showing that break.
Yeah, and what I like about that is that it's all in subtlety. It's like it's not too much in your face, and that's why I think that one works also in a very good way. And also the fact that as we were building in the Illuminati in that, we tried to have a fresh spin to not go into the old cliché. Exactly.
Yeah, it's true, and actually that's what we did, because when the first ASX came out, the Illuminati was a hot topic, but since then, it's so old. So the way we dealt with it even was just to have when Seraph brings it up and fully believing it, and Jensen is just like, are you talking about the Illuminati? Like, and basically feeling the same way I'm sure that a lot of people today feel when you bring up the Illuminati.
Adam, you've got to handle this delicately. You don't know Taggart is involved, and we can't afford another punch in the face.
For
Trusting you with this.
as I guess of the time, kind of topics of the Illuminati were, a lot of conspiratorial thinking has not really changed much from that. Do I still not have what? Oh, that's why. Like, you still get, why do I have machine pistol ammo? Why do I have shotgun cartridges? I'm not using a shotgun. If I'm right, this is my last time in Chicago, so I do have to use whatever I want to use. Here, if I plan to pick up... Wait, no. See, kids, this is why you always get magazine upgrades. Classic Resident Evil trick. But yeah, as much as, like, discussions about Illuminati and whatnot, I guess the right word is, like, has fallen out of vogue. Like, no, there's still a bunch of people that talk about shadow governments, or people who are actually running things like heads over heads and all that other stuff. Like, we don't use the word. Oh, there's a lot of ammo, actually. We don't use the word... I'm assuming that's all stuff from the old triggers. We don't use the word Illuminati. But conspiratorial thinking very much still circles around to it. Like the idea. Yeah, same concept, different name. It's like, oh, people in control who have hands in different pies, who are controlling who knows what, and like who gets to talk about what. And
Yeah, so the glitch, that
Yeah, the
lovely
glitch.
little thing that happens, it was such an important part of the story.
Actually, it
And-
was to build up the recall of the chip.
Yes,
the
it was.
clinic
It
and then
really,
Chateau.
it really was, and we had all these plans about how we wanted it to first be not noticeable in the game, and you'd think that it was actually something had happened on your own computer and stuff, and but it didn't quite work out the
Well,
way
it's
we were
funny when you
hoping.
when you bring it up that way. I'll tell you, my first time I came across it was going up the convention center stairs, and there was nothing really on screen, or maybe just a second where the camera shakes, and the sound like kind of cuts out a bit and everything, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And I
It
was
feels
asking,
more like a bug, eh?
yeah, and I was asking Jess, the guy on my team with me, and he was like, no, it's supposed to be there. There's an envelope there. It's for the glitch. And I was like, really? And I'm like, that's the glitch? And I was like, went off into an explosion of rage. And I'm like, what the hell is this?
I love
I
Steve and
remember
his
you came to
explosions
me.
of rage.
You
Yeah.
came to me like,
Have you seen this? You know what's going on? Are you aware of this? I'm all mad. Because for me, I'm just so offended because I know how important it's supposed to be in the story. And then I'm like, this is crap. Like, so a bit of, barking and, asking for a bit of love from people. And then we did get a bit more of the glitch working. And then I was able to at least get a bit of sound in, a bit of HUD reaction. So that helped. And I think it never became as big as we wanted it to be. And the closest
Welcome,
we
Effie.
came was there's a scene when he comes out of, I think, the Alice Garden, and he's in an alley, and you see the glitch,
Yeah.
and there's a guy who falls off the top, and a girl, and then later on there's another one in the Cavern of the Harvesters downstairs. There's guys, and believe me, technically it was very hard to get it working. A simple thing like that, I busted my balls.
But the
on
thing
it.
is that we were over our heads with a lot of features in the game, and we were always coming back. We need to have the glitch in. We need to have the glitch in. But yes, it's not priority number one because we have any other things to do, and eventually, like, okay, we have 5 minutes to do the glitch, and then you saw it, and then you took over.
And well, sometimes we all do our part, and this time I was just like, I wanted it to see it better than that because I knew in the story it played a much bigger role, and I think in hindsight we probably would have given it more attention, but like you said, in a game
Humans
like
are
this, where
not
there's 100
revolting.
million things to do and 100 million features, it's tough.
So to finish it, you're my glitch hero.
The glitch hero, kind of like a jukebox hero, but different.
To get back to that, because I remember that is like a very, I forgot that was actually coming up, but I do remember that was an important thing. But yeah, for as much as like saying something like, it's funny how saying like Illuminati will get people be like, you still believe in that? That's really stupid. That's really silly. But then you say something like deep state and they're like, no, but that's real though. It's like literally the exact same thing, just a different name. It's just dressed up for a different era. We're so lazy, we can't even come up with new original conspiracy theories. We're just still repackaging the old things under different names.
So with this second city, the second visit to Detroit was our way that we had to cut some city hubs that we have planned and everything, but we wanted to maintain a good pace between the hubs, the compounds, and everything, and to make that pace happening, we had to.
I do like
to
the birds
reuse
not
some
being
of the
real ones.
existing
No,
Yeah,
that
also
one I genuinely
production-wise,
really do like.
I already designed a whole section of the city with a freeway with a bridge crossing over it, and there was apartments on the other side. And
Oh
all
yeah,
that.
I remember that.
Yeah, but it was cut because
Side
also
quests.
production-wise, we cannot just do that.
That was
That
really
looks
time.
really
Yeah,
good.
we just trim it all the way to just the convention center itself.
Yeah, and we were debating how we need this highway because it would feel that the city's bigger again, and you
Yes.
feel that it's alive. Yeah. That was pretty fun. Yeah.
Get back here!
Th-
Leave me alone, man! That's it! Easy, man! Easy! I saw you throw that firebomb, you little shit! Wasn't me, man! You stay right there until the wagon gets here.
So isn't a real character in Overwatch lore. Then explain that healer that everybody keeps playing. I do not have the ammo for. So I'm also playing on hard. I can't go running and gunning.
We've diverted all the trams. There are no more coming to this station. But how am I supposed to get home? Best thing to do
True,
is
battles
find
aren't
a
lore
area,
accurate.
catch a tram there.
But it's dangerous out there. The rioters are breaking windows and looting.
Can you at least tell us what lines are operating?
Especially considering that Widowmaker can be on anybody's team and it's just like, oh, they're having fun or whatever. That. I have to remember about that. Lore accurate. this part, at least like in retrospect, is really funny, especially considering how it's not super significant, but like how like your main way of getting around Prague in Mankind Divided, being so focused on the trains and like the different access that you have depending on when and where, is kind of interesting to see how travel restriction is being simulated here. Malcolm X got a cereal, if only.
I thought the police overreacted.
Yeah. As soon as that one guy threw the rock, cops broke their perimeter and charged in.
Just send a couple guys to find it.
Hmm.
I was thinking it just made the situation worse.
You're gonna tell me that officers tend to only escalate situations instead of de-escalate
At
them?
the beginning, with the cutscene, with the riot cutscene, it was there to cover our fear that we wouldn't be able to pull off a riot in game. And now, actually, we're here, and we managed to do it actually with Frank's team. Like, you did it in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, we basically created a full-on ninja team except for the costume and all. But there was me, artists, the lead lighting, FX guys, animators, and we basically just did meetings. And every 2-3 days we just met, look at the game, look at the environment, just try to create the most asset. And also technically we couldn't do like swapping materials on billboards, and we wanted to focus that, having lights on maybe other choppers, how do we do that, and etc. etc. How to create, because the whole place is basically the same architecture, the same geometry in Detroit 1, but how do we create
A lot of
some
animation for
geometry
something
inside
that you're not going to see unless you're like
so
really
there was
up
a lot
close
of
to.
technical questions and huge flags that we tried to
It's
solve.
it's an excellent example of kind of like creative problem solving. This entire thing. Like, for example, we knew that if we could see the entire street that leads towards Sarif Industries, would have to fill all the street with like all sorts of action going on. That's when we had the idea. Like, we invented this idea that the cops have this wall that they use because they literally, when there's riots, they block places, right? But then it's like, what about if they have a wall and it's just little slits to see? And then they're like, well, that's gonna work because it's gonna block so much of the visibility, right? And all these little things.
In the end, it worked.
I think it works.
And with the small, we wanted to hide some stuff, but if you actually use the X-ray, we can see a bit further. So we play around with one guy running around, but if you don't use this X-ray, you never see that guy. But in X-ray, you actually see.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. I love the fact that you change the skin on a lot of the stuff. Like, you have like obviously the cut box guards, and there's also one of the kind of like mechanical things that we have in the seaport, and they also have the cup textures, and it's great work. It's great.
That's really a lot. But more accurate battles, because I have friends who play a lot of Rainbow Six Siege, and one of them was not, and still not, as, I guess a word would be, engrossed when it came to the story and such. So he was really confused when the stadium came up, like the stadium map, and like asked why there was a sports stadium. And so I had to explain, like, eventually, over the course of Siege being around for like 10 years, and
Jensen, Sarif had me hack the convention center security logs for you. Sandoval signed out. He isn't there.
Taggart will know where he went.
You really think he'll tell you in the middle of a riot? In front of all the media?
He will if I ask real nice.
Well, if that doesn't work, he also has a dressing room backstage. Seems to me a man like Taggart must keep close track.
Oh, this was the other social boss fight.
Speaking of which, I also backtraced that breach in our own firewall. The one Sarif opened but forgot to tell us about.
The one he was using right before he hired me. Right.
Looks like our boss was being chatty with a private detective named Brent Radford. He lives on Earl's Court, in case you want to get chatty with him too.
I'll follow that lead. So I had to explain to him, like, oh yeah, after a couple, because Siege got a lot of. I don't want to say it was kept alive like exclusively by it, but the competitive scene definitely helped Siege kind of like stay alive through its much more
I'm a little shaken up, but I'm just glad we got off the street.
early
I
years.
almost shit myself when that group of cops came blazing around the corner.
We were seconds from getting trampled.
And I had to explain that at a certain point.
Augmented soldiers? How did they think this was going to go over with the public?
I haven't seen the footage, so I'm not going to make any assumptions.
Well, I have, and it's exactly what people are saying it is.
How can you say that? It's so easy to doctor footage these days.
The first moon landing? Hello?
So I had to explain, like, yeah, no, they ended up. I don't even remember what it was like when the new 6 came in. Like, the new 6 came in, and he's like, we need a big. We need a big PR thing. It was the new 6 that came in, and he said, like, oh, Rainbow needs a. And, okay, he's talking about the Illuminati. How, like, Rainbow needed something for publicity, and it was like, hey, let's run these games. Like, we'll run these public sporting events, and people can watch. And it's like, okay, why? Like, the in-universe justification for it is really stupid, because it was just like, oh, well, the game, well, all the matches are just test exercises anyway. So it's just like, what's the problem with letting normal people pay tickets to watch these highly trained individuals essentially test a terrorist situation? Run terrorist simulation sims, with some of them being the offensive side and defensive side. And then that became a sport thing, and that's the justification for it.
That was weird.
I don't know which. I don't remember which iris operator you're talking about. I stopped playing a while ago. Like, I think. Thorne's Irish. She is.
Jensen? Oh, Christ.
Brent Radford.
In the flesh. For now.
How do you know my name? What happened here?
Answers for favors. There's a trauma kit I keep somewhere around here. Find it.
You need a doctor. I'll get help.
No. No time.
I think I stopped playing sometime around
They
Parabellum.
could be back.
Like, Villa was the
Any minute.
last
Find the
real
kid
competitive
quickly.
map that I put a lot of time
If you
into.
want answers.
Fine.
I ain't talking with
I'll be back.
I don't remember where the painkillers are, actually. Oh, there it is.
Did you find the kit?
This should help with the pain. Now tell me what's going on.
Those sons of bitches. I should have seen it coming.
Part of the reason I stopped wasn't even because I didn't
Moment
really
Sarah got
like the
spooked
game. Well,
that this case would come
no,
back
playing it for
bite
too
me
long
in
did
the
kind
ass.
of give me
Sarah.
shakes. But
So you're the investigator he hired to run a background
turns
check on me.
out
Detective.
you kind of
Or I
need a
was.
good community
Tell
if you
me.
want people to stick around.
Christ, fuck it. Hurts enough just trying to breathe. Point is, the goons that did this to me, professionals. I think your
We need
boss
to take
pissed
back
off
Goon.
the wrong people, trying to dig up your
We need goons to
What
just
people?
be talking
What
about,
did you
like,
find?
no time
mindless
to
henchmen.
go into details. My storage unit, the sons of bitches, they're headed there now. Sarah
Yeah.
had me uncover
That was
a ton
also
of
around.
shit
Yeah,
on you.
that was also a reason why I
Stuff
kind of stopped
even
playing Siege.
You don't know. Your parents, your real parents. The tests, the fire.
I remember this
What
quest
are you,
line.
Jensen? Some kind of freak?
Focus, Radford.
I put it all. I mothballed the case in storage. It's in an alley. Behind the bank. Your files are there. But Michelle knows. Michelle knows more. You need to stop. You need to stop them.
This is not a...
Fuck. You robot. This is all your fault. Give me...
I don't
Give me
even know
another
how to
shot.
respond to a goon king.
Morphine. Or go fuck yourself.
Like, why?
Focus, Radford.
That hit the spot. I think I could get used to this stuff. Hey, I'm feeling a little more
You're not a
talkative.
goon, you're a viewer. Those are two very
Already.
different things.
Robot.
Just don't put ER at the end of goon either.
I'm leaving. But I'll call in an ambulance. You'll be okay. I'm sure it's not as bad as you think. It might be a reaction to the morphine.
I know what morphine does. I also know what a 9mm round fired at less than 10 meters does to the thoracic vertebrae on impact.
I'm not gonna have you take out the trash, but you can be a viewer.
Turn
Yes.
it into no freak. Even if I could afford the surgery, the augments, I'd rather die than be half a machine. And I sure as hell ain't gonna live the rest of my life.
I mean, I
in
could use a
wheelchair,
bodyguard. Or at least some type of
shitting in a
security guard.
goddamn diaper.
Don't want people stealing my reagents when I'm doing work.
I know there's still a few more morphine shots. Another 2 should do the trick. Please. This is as close
You
as
don't
I'm
need to
gonna
move
get
dangerous chemicals into trucks.
to begging
People are gonna get the wrong idea if you say that.
Leave me like this. You owe me that much.
Why do you hate augmentation so much?
Because it ain't right. You can't go changing the way things are. You can't replace the real thing with an imitation. It ain't right. It ain't natural.
It can save your life.
No, you lose more than what gets left behind on the chopping block. You should know this by now.
No. Naturalistic fallacy.
Neither is suicide.
Don't you fucking judge me, robot. You don't know what I've been through. Come on. This should be easy for you. I know Sarah didn't put blades in those arms just so you could trim the hedges.
I'm sorry, Radford. I won't do it.
What is this? Some Asimov first law bullshit? What'd they do, robot? Program mercy out of you? Or you just too much of a chicken shit to get your hands dirty?
You're just a fucking asshole. That's all the reason I need. Oh, right. I have to exit through the window. Maybe don't insult the person that you're
I
asking to
located
mercy
Radford.
kill you.
He was attacked by men in suits. Private security, Secret Service types. I'm going after them.
What about Radford? Did you get anything out of him?
He didn't make it. There was nothing I could do.
Right. I'll call it in. You have a new lead, at least?
Yeah, I'm on my way there now. I'll contact you when I have more.
Nope, can't put a bullet in him or else he'd be upset. Well, no, he wouldn't be upset. He would die, and that's kind of what he wanted.
Of course he is. I know Mr. Gray is landing tonight. We're working on it, yeah. Listen, believe me, we tried. The old man proved resilient.
Oh, he's Irish.
To watch him. If we need, we can go back. But I'm not sure how much more it'll take. It's me and Smith. We tried that already. Look, we can't get the safe open. That's why if you could, send Smith down. Right. Thank you, sir. Now we'll contact you as soon as we have the info. Someone's here!
You're Irish, so you get to live.
What's that?
Am I shooting a gun? I disagree. No, the detective wasn't Irish. At least I don't think so. I can only really tell by an accent. You... Nothing? Shit. This is self-defense. They fired first. I can't be wasting ammo. First off, Prague. Hang on, I have to make sure that this guy doesn't get hit by a stray bullet. Okay. I can only hear it faintly. Fuck. They didn't chase me. Whatever. What helix? Fire Chief Minnie Hawkins told the reporters but stated very suspicious. It's a bio-research firm studying childhood genetic diseases. Can I hack this? There's not an auto hacker, is there? One of these guys has to have a... Nope. This means that I need... Let's hope I have a praxis kit then. Oh, I have a bunch. That's fortify. Why am I sitting on 5 praxis kits? Guarantee that this is gonna... Yep.
Access granted.
Intelligence and psych evaluation. Following that SWAT. It is. Unfortunately, it is. Unfortunately, like, yeah, it is ideal to just sit on the praxis kits and only use them, like, right when you need them. Just sneak... Well, yes, it sucks because... It sucks, but it is the practical thing to do, especially considering how you don't know when you need certain things, and some quests can only be completed if you have other... if you have different, things. Like, if you need specific upgrades to get certain other, to, like, access this. Somebody did pay this last time, boom. To Megan Reed. Which is unfortunate because like in a side quest like this, you're getting a lot of like you get a lot of really good information. Like this is entirely just about Adam. It's all about Adam's kind of like genetic augmentation. Usually, she was on antidepressant since 14 and needed regular prescriptions. When White Helix Labs burned down, all his files and employment records were lost, and Jensen stayed invisible mostly. Here's the thing: one minute Adam doesn't exist, and the next the Jensens have themselves a bouncy and healthy 5-year-old. That's when they pull their vanishing act. So on a hunch, I sniffed around. Some more, and sure enough, the Jensens had tried adopting kids from several Michigan agencies, but Marty was deemed unfit as a parent. Next thing you know, they have Adam. There's no real trail saying how he was placed in their hands. Hope this helps. Michelle Walters, she worked at the lab you mentioned, White Helix. She was a nurse and good friends with the Jensens, practically Arthur. She's living in Detroit now at Brooklyn Court. There's just one problem. According to my initial probe, she's senile. But you've always had a way with this ladies. Yeah, I remember playing the game initially, and like this was like I distinctly remember this quest like really sticking out to me. I think it was also one of the standout quests that I remember hearing a lot about too. Like of all the people, like of all the quests that people did, like this consistently was one that a lot of people not only talked about, but were also very positive about. Because it's like, it's, I would say probably the most interesting one in the game. So now we just have to go down.
Did I leave my door open? Wait, you're not from Rolling Mills. You're too handsome to be from Rolling Mills.
No, I'm not. Mrs. Michelle Walters, is it? My name's Adam Jensen.
No, you much too old to be him. You must be from Rolling Mills. And please, it's Miss Walters.
Brent Radford sent me. Do you remember him? He's a detective.
Yes, lovely gentleman. He still has my photos of Adam when he was a baby. Oh, could you be a dear and fetch them for me? I forgot who has them, though.
Are these the photographs?
Oh, yes. Thank you. I haven't seen Adam Jensen in such a long time. Forever, it seems. Such a happy baby.
Miss Walters, can you tell me about the boy in those photos?
The boy in those photos? Adam. Tragic, really, what happened to his parents. His real parents.
His real parents?
They died in that fire. Horrible, really. I was there. At least those other cribs were empty. I only had to save Adam.
Mrs. Walters, I really need you to focus. What are you talking about?
Why, I already told that nice detective all this already. About the experiments and the fire at White Helix Labs. We knew Adam was special. That's why his parents started the fire. So they didn't do the same thing to the next batch of babies.
So Adam's real parents were trying to protect him. But from what?
Why? From the conspiracy, of course. But I've said too much. Would you be a dear now and go fetch my dinner?
Miss Walters, please. I know it was a while ago, and remembering all the details might be hard, but do you think you can try and focus for a minute? What did you tell the detective?
Well, Mr. Radford and I spoke about many things. But don't you have meals to deliver? And where is my dinner?
Miss Walters, please. I know it was a while ago, and remembering all the details might be hard.
Well...
Thank you for your time, Miss Walters.
Oh, before I forget, if you see Adam, could you please give him this? It's for all the birthdays and Christmases I've missed. I've been saving them.
I'll make sure he gets it.
Thank you, dear. Why, he must be 12 or 13 by now. Make sure he gets something nice.
Pritchard, I need you to assign a temporary security detail to an apartment on Brooklyn Court until I can figure out a more permanent solution. The woman's name is Walters, Michelle Walters.
Security detail? What the hell, Jensen? Who is this woman?
She's family, but she's vulnerable. I'll explain later. Just do this for me, please. And not a word to Seraph. Can I trust you on this, Pritchard?
Christ, Jensen. All right. I'll do it. But there better be a damn good reason for this.
There is. I'll fill you in next time I see you. But right now I need to get back to work. And Pritchard, thanks.
Yeah.
It's like the one time, like, it feels silly that like I'm gonna gush over that. But like, no, it's a really good performance from Elias Tefexis. Like, it's the one time where like he gets very, there's no way that there isn't a commentary track for that. It's like the one time that he gets like super emotional, like to the point where like he has to take a break. He takes a break. He collects himself after some of the lines, and he gets so caught up in trying to figure out so many of these different things about himself. And it's like the one time that like Pritchard's actually nice and like does what Adam asks without like kind of bitching at him. Like, it's a very emotionally vulnerable and kind of just nice side quest. Like, you get so much information about Adam, but then you also get just like really good character building for him. I never got this far in the game. It's one of... Ooh. I forgot how. Panic in Detroit. I thought that said Panic at the Disco. Yeah, it's one of the... I remember a lot of people bringing up that quest a lot when they were discussing the game closer to when it came out. Like, it was just a really nice scene. And there wasn't even like a lot of choices and stuff in it. But like that mission was completely missable. Like, if I didn't get that dude the morphine, if I didn't have the hacks to open it, like, no, I would have completely walked past it.
So you notice that there's a lot of street signs all over the place in places like Hangsha and of course Detroit. And one of the things that fell on on the writing team at some point was we would see these signs very late in the production process. And at one point I saw one of these street signs for Detroit, and I realized that it was in metrics. It was not in feet and miles.
It was in the proper system.
And so
we needed to switch it to the
And as one of the
crazy
few
system.
Americans on this mostly French-Canadian team, I then had to basically send an email out to the whole team saying, guys, sorry, but we're in Detroit, and Detroit uses, doesn't use metrics, and so make sure that all your signs are in the correct.
Why are you fucking looking at me?
Non-scientific method.
Right. Can you tell me where Detroit is again?
Oh, yeah. So anyway, so that was kind of funny because we sent that out, and I think that it was one of those kind of silly things that you're sitting there going, gee, nobody thought of that.
No, but it's true. No, it was really good that you made us notice. Yeah, that it was measured in that. Yeah.
So that's why we had an American on the team.
Yeah, for that.
The only reason.
The only reason.
Unfortunately, I'm unfamiliar with how Quebec Yeah, Quebecois sounds. The only like two things I even really know when it comes to French Canadians, or at least when it comes to, I don't even know the proper word for it. The only two things I know about like French Canadian language is that they do speak half English, half French. That it is pronounced Québécois. And that people from France hate speaking to French Canadians.
Everything seems to be under control of the convention center. And Taggart? He's on stage now. His protection is deep. Only those with VIP passes.
I did want to take
We'll just stay here. Make sure none of those hooligans try to sneak.
I did want to take French in like, what was it, middle school? No. Yeah, I did want to take French in like high school, but just never got the chance to. I was told that Spanish was the more practical language to learn, but I still wanted to learn it. It's the French part of Canada. Hear from my French teacher.
So, originally we wanted tons of side quests. What happened, Pat?
Like when we started to work on Deus Ex, I mean the critical path was the main focus, and the side quest was we knew we wanted them, and we tackled that task later in production. And there was one moment where we said, okay, we're gonna do 25 side quests. We're gonna talk about all the different philosophy of the game. We're gonna support all the different mechanics. What a beautiful matrix.
Interesting toss-up in the work environment too.
We're gonna spread them around the game. Every time the player goes in a city hub, you will have like 5 to 7 side quests to do, and then everything was possible. And when we started to implement them, the reality like really hit us. And I just remember that Jeff, I think at one point would have killed me because I will go see him every 2-3 weeks, and I will say, okay, this is where we are. We have 25 side quests, but 2-3 weeks later we'll go see him. We can probably do just 23, or like then 2-3 months later we'll say, okay, we can only do 12.
Yeah, and my heartbeat was raising every single time.
Yeah, and I don't think you saw all the love and writing and rewriting that went into them, and we focus on the quality versus quantity.
Behavior's Canadian?
What we end up doing was putting more side quests on the critical path, which basically people would be submerged in those alternate stories. And
I had no idea.
When we reached near the end of the game, we said we'll put more side quests because what's interesting, the player at the beginning discover City Hub, and then we said player will play like to finish the game.
And since we cannot change exploration setups between Detroit 1 and Detroit 2, players could actually explore almost everything in Detroit 1, and in Detroit 2, well, there was not much more else to explore, only the additional side quests or a few things I managed to place in somewhere.
For some reason, I thought they were like an American studio. Most of the studios in Montreal. Subverted again. That commentary is very interesting because I remember Mankind Divided is very limited in terms of the side quests. Like, I think there's only like 6 to 8 in the entire game, but I remember the side quest being just like a lot more interesting in Mankind Divided because of how much tighter it was. Like, Mankind Divided both feels like a very expanded version of a lot of the things that they do here, but also, ooh, what's this? Why is this here? It feels like both an expanded version, but also just smaller and like tighter, but also more focused. Like Prague was just so interesting and fun of a zone to like move around in. It felt like you had a lot more impact on the decisions that you were allowed to make, especially in those side quests. Because there were some side quests that you could either end early, or some of those that could keep running for like practically the whole game. But those would progress as you did the main story things. So hearing that they went from like, yeah, we have 25 side quests, and then every 2 weeks they were culling them more and more, Um, it makes me think that they probably readjusted their expectations for Mankind Divided, and at least in my opinion, I think it worked out a lot better because those quests were a lot more. That is. Wonder why it's up there. Why it's up there in the corner right? It's like. Okay. Weird. Weird that you have to be like right on the edge in order to see the full thing. Anyway. I only remember this being a social boss fight. I don't remember if there was anything specific that needed to be done.
So here's the idea behind a convention center that we had. You know, like sometimes some convention centers, some of the smaller ones in cities, cater to a specific, you know, industry or whatever. They don't. It's not that they're not going to let any other industries come do stuff there. But sometimes they cater to like new media. They cater to all sorts of things. And we said, hey, this one is in Detroit. Let's pretend. Let's make it as a convention center that usually hosts. You know, talks or conventions that have to do with transhumanism and augmentations and whatnot.
Shit,
right?
Charlie, it's at Ubisoft now.
But then it shows a personality of Taggart because he decided, you know what, my talk, my anti-augmentation talk, I'm gonna hold it. You know, it's gonna be held inside that kind of like pro-transhumanist convention center.
It's really provocative. Make a statement.
It's provocative. It's making a statement exactly, and it's a free country, so you know you can do it. So the idea that's why the place is extremely gold, just to represent this idea of the transhumanism in the art direction.
Honestly, good on them.
A nice place. It was one of our like more junior kind of concept artists. I mean, he's not a junior, but not one of our most experimented guys. But he did an amazing job. This kind of like modern architecture, like kind of somewhat futuristic, but yet credible. The carpeting, beautiful place. Really like it.
Yeah, you don't really.
Bill is really changing the world for the better. We're changing it back to what it used to be, to before these people started poisoning their bodies, or to use his words, their divine engines. See, I have no problem with amputees wanting to get augmentations. Especially our soldiers. That's the least they deserve after defending our country. Like Taggart's patient, Ezekiel. Right. And what happened to Ezekiel? He got himself a new limb that sent him into a spiral of despair because of the drugs. Essentially, what Bill Taggart is asking is, do we really want to have a world filled with addicts being forced to pay exorbitant amounts of money to a bunch of corporate neuropozyne pushers? I just don't get why certain people have this loony idea that augmentations will make the world better. Well, as you can see by what's going on out there, they have a lot of work to do to convince the world.
Finger slip. Finger slipped.
This escalator has broken down this week.
So here you have one of the rare moments in Detroit when you actually hear an Asian American in Detroit.
It wasn't supposed to be this way. It was supposed
No,
to be
it
just
wasn't.
two guys, white or black, because we only had white and black NPCs inside the whole Detroit city, but both Detroit 1 and also Detroit 2. But
Yeah, but what happened was when you're dealing with this much dialogue and you have tools in the company that help you sort that dialogue and you have check boxes that tell you whether it's been recorded or not, and it sorts for you, so when you're going for a recording session it automatically selects for you all the lines, and somehow or other it did not select the voice for that second actor in that. So it didn't get recorded, and it was until later we didn't catch it up right away, and we'd already released all of our Detroit actors, and all we had left to record were the Asians. So luckily we caught it at the last second, and so we got one of the Asian actors to record that line, but that's how come we have only one Asian actor in all of Detroit.
And also, if you look at the power tool that he's using, it's amazing.
It's
It's
invisible.
so well designed. This power tool just shows you the amount of details we went into this game. It's like you can't even see it. And
actually, if you go very, very close and you zoom on the tool, there's the John seal of approval on it.
This is my seal of approval. But there's a brand on it. There's a logo. There's everything. Just
Rex
stop at
Tools.
the escalator, listen to the Asian voice, and then look at the power tool.
JJB quality.
It's amazing.
Hello. It is very commendable when someone like you shows interest in our work.
Ooh. Oh, I thought that was fixed in a specific spot. Why do I feel like I remember this?
I'm not getting hot. It just frustrates me how some of you pro-humanists act so superior. Like you have all the answers to every ethical question ever posed.
Well, who are you to think you can just turn yourself into robots, abuse drugs, and then think you can function freely in our society?
You and that asshole Taggart, just try to take away my freedom and see what happens.
Finger slap.
What was that?
Remember in a good or bad way. I think it was a. I think there's a gun. There's a gunshot. I think there's a shootout here.
Yeah, when we passed the infamous locked door, and then we are in the VIP type of environment of the convention center where Bill Taggart is currently doing his press thing on stage in front of the millions and millions of press media people.
You mean the four NPCs?
Well, those for me are actually millions, but anyway. Yeah, I know I don't count. Yeah, we had alternate paths to get, because the actual objective was not to talk to Bill Taggart himself, but to get the information. And the information was either was on his computer or Bill Taggart himself. So the player had choice, and we wanted to make sure that the player understands there are alternate paths, because everything was, well, we try to convey it towards the conversation with Bill Taggart, but as a level designer, I always have more interest on actual alternate paths, so maybe I focus a bit way too much on the actual alternate paths, batch rooms and scripting and the backstage and all that. So I had fun. But,
yeah. But after that, we realized that as you go through the corridor, what you see that is obvious is the alternate path.
Yes.
And that the auditorium is totally to your right. And now we had to build all those signs to be very obvious on the choke point to make sure that the players know that.
Yeah, but what's funny is that it's right there on your right.
See this very expensive
thing
that we created for them to get.
At the same
to
time,
see.
what's funny is that we did all these things to attract you there, but it's like 10 feet to your right. You know, it's just.
But it's surprising sometimes how players
absolutely
move in the game.
You want to get augmented? Oh no, I'm sorry, but we're not gonna let you. You're not gonna let me? Ha! Do you know how he's gonna influence legislation? How he's going to convince you this
Can I?
is really what you want? With fear.
Just get away.
He's already started. Look outside, in our streets. Who do you think whipped up that frenzy? And I don't blame them. I blame people like Taggart. People who are constantly trying to divide us by our differences instead of uniting us by our similarities. Listen,
Oh my god.
I've been a victim of this anti-aug backlash. I was attacked simply for having been to a limb clinic by people who were not augmented, people with an axe to grind. And do you know who saved me? An augmented man, a stranger. So you tell me where the real danger comes from.
Hostile exposed. Yep. Backstage area is completely blocked off. Even the janitor can't get back there now.
What about the air vents?
You're kidding, right? Have you seen the size of those vents? You expect a contortionist or midget is going to try to assassinate Taggart?
Go get some.
It was a different time. But that doesn't excuse it. How do I get there without him shooting me? Something history repeats itself. It was not intended to go this way, but we'll make do. Humans, as we all know, never repeat history.
Any idea how long before the speech is over?
Not too long now. I'll escort Taggart backstage and you make sure nobody tries to sneak in.
I'll take a walk and make sure everyone else is in position.
They're just security guards. I don't have a reason to actually, like, harm them. That's why I only knocked out those two guys. I didn't kill them. It's also really funny that this game is set in, like, 2027. Mistake, mistake, mistake.
He's on the run! He's on the run! You had enough?
Move, please, please. Okay, so this was the part that you actually had to sneak through. But they're just security guards, which means that I shouldn't kill them.
Yeah, backstage areas.
Shouldn't be here, sir.
Okay, fine. I'm just using the bathroom. And climbing into the air duct like normal people do.
Turn this off, man. Why? Don't you want to know what's going on out there? Just can't watch these cowards with masks throwing rocks. I believe in their cause. I don't feel like being a slave to a bunch of super soldiers.
Modern Deus Ex game made after the AI boom.
So I'm not exactly sure how you may have pulled the information about where Isaiah is located at this. There are many different ways to do it. If you could have gotten it from Taggart and thus would have seen him talking to you right now, or you would have had to get it off of the computer. And then, but what was really fun for us was all these things have repercussions. How you actually do it have repercussions on what's going to happen very, very soon in the story. Because as you end up getting to see Isaiah, if you got the information from Taggart directly, Taggart is going to go on the air and he'll end up telling, basically leading to Isaiah wanting to commit suicide. And if you snuck here, never got to Jensen, never got to Taggart at all, and agreed to Sarah's request to frame them, then Taggart will go on the air and you'll end up having to convince Isaiah out of suicide. And there's one possible way that you will actually not have an entire conversation with Isaiah Sandoval to talk him out of it.
Yeah.
And that's if you basically sneak in here and then deny Seraph what he wants.
Exactly.
And in that instance,
and now when you meet Isaiah, is going to attack you.
he'll actually attack you straight out. So it was interesting figuring out all those challenges and all those ways to connect it.
Yeah.
And it actually led to the possibility of cutting an entire conversation boss fight.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's actually super interesting. I never knew about that. Because every way that I heard about other people getting to this, every other way I heard about people getting to this, it always, like, typically resulted in the conversation to... I can break this. It always resulted in a conversation of having to talk Isaiah out of killing himself. I think even my first run resulted in that conversation. Hang on. Let me grab these.
Access granted.
Seraph, Sandoval's in Detroit. Hold up in some apartment building on Grand River Road. I'm heading there now.
Alright. But Adam...
Is this another Nigerian prince?
There's no hard evidence yet to prove it.
Too bad. But you know there could be. If you upload that data recording you got in Montreal onto his computer...
You're asking me to frame him?
We could lose everything, Adam, given the mood out there. We may have to get our hands dirty to fix it. Well, you got a problem with that?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Alright. It was just a thought. Seraph out.
It's like, oh, I'm just gonna ruin this guy's life, or else, like, my business will go under. But you don't want to ruin this man's entire life for no reason? Fine, I guess. Look at the metal man with metal morals. Where's this go? Can I drag you around? And David Women, I would do everything my boss told me. That's just toxic. That's just toxic Yuri. Fortunately, that's not this stream. That does remind me that Ebihime did make a new VN. That is goon training. Ebihime did make a new Yuri VN, which I can I'll plan to stream that sometime. I'm not sure when. But I think the estimated runtime is like I think the estimated runtime was like 2 to 4 hours, which is like the perfect amount of time for a stream, so Neanderthal opinions.
I can't believe there are still people out there with such backward mentalities.
This UN resolution he wants passed is persecution, plain and simple.
Agreed. He loves to claim over and over again what a peaceful organization Humanity Front is. But just look outside. In a non-direct way, he's promoting this kind of reaction.
Well, there have always been nuts like Tiger trying to stop human progress. By the end of the day,
Can I help you?
always wins out. He'll be a relic in no time.
I hope you're right. I'm just wondering when Hugh Darrow is going to come out of his shell and take a position. It seems like this whole resolution is on hold until he speaks up.
Oh, I can't leave this way. I have to leave through. Oh, so this all went peacefully. I think this is how I remember the run also mostly being. Because if you sneak through, then you don't really get into fights. Like, that's the one place where you really...
Everyone's involved with the riots. I'm telling you, I need them down here now. Jensen?
Where you don't really need to
I
get into a
almost
fight.
didn't recognize you. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, what are the chances? Do you remember me? I was a rookie when you still rolled in SWAT.
Nikki. Of course I remember you. How you been? The brass got you on riot control too?
Yeah, I am. Or I was until... Damn it. Look, something big is going down, and I'm kind of freaking out here. You remember
Judas
that
is important
severe
too.
Jacob White? You busted him a couple of times.
Yeah, I remember him. Assault and possession. He's still running rackets.
No, I mean, yeah, shit, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter, because he's moved on to bigger things.
Nikki, slow down.
Listen, hear me out. I just got word he has his hands on some real military-grade explosives.
I could use that.
Rick's got a fucking bomb, Adam. And you know how much he hates the PD. He's going to hit us while we have our pants down with the riots. You gotta help us out here.
Nikki, I'm kind of busy. If he's got a bomb, just call it in and follow procedure.
What do you think I've been doing? I've been on the horn all night, and my CO already sent a patrol over to Jacob's house. We've got a warrant, so they searched the place, but nothing came up, not even Jacob. Now they're saying my CI is probably full of shit and just fucking with me. Bullshit! Jacob's using the riots as cover, and he's going to hit us, and hit us hard. Adam, I need you to trust me on this. You gotta help me find Jacob.
What is it exactly that you need me to do?
You mean you'll help me out? Really?
I didn't give
say
you any
that.
hard answers.
Assuming I did agree to help, what would you need me to do exactly?
Oh. Well, based on Jacob's history and his new political agenda, I can almost guarantee he's going after cops. I've warned everyone working street detail and anyone else who'd listen to keep an eye out. But with half the force tied up with the protests and rioting, I can't get the manpower for a proper search. I need you to check a few spots my CI thinks Jacob could be at, and take care of the threat if you can. Even if you find nothing, great. It put my mind at ease, at least.
Not my problem.
I'm sorry, Nick, but I'm not a cop anymore.
Jensen, please. I know you traded in your badge for a paycheck, but once a cop, always a cop. Do the right thing here. I need your help. We need your help.
Why do you have a silencer? Anyway. He was just really stressed out. He needed a nap. I'm sure he is just really stressed out and just needed a little bit of rest. Do you have a problem?
Unless this is an emergency, I suggest you keep moving.
Where is this commentary? It's like right here. Sir, please move.
So with the limb clinic, one of the interesting thing that happens in Detroit, we say that the tension
Oh, it's
between
because I was standing at
who
the
can afford
limb clinic.
accommodations and those who can afford, the tension is rising and everything, and we really wanted to feel that early on in the game that was palpable. You know, it's something that you could feel. And we had this idea through the first vertical slice about this riot that just happened.
Yeah.
And all the work, like it seems very simple, but all the work among level design, art design, story design to make this work and make you feel that something happened there. It was quite a lot of work. Actually.
And there's a reason why we did this, because there was no way we could have done a real riot. You know, because that's what we wanted at the beginning. We wanted to have like all these people. You know, there was a little crowd, but
there
then
was a crowd and we had a chant and we recorded the chant.
Yeah, the first version I did is
I do have to sell a couple of guns though.
Stuff happening. Like it was like 5 minutes ago. There was a protest, and now it's not. We even and there's also some kind of a Easter egg-ish about that story about the event that took place that the player never saw. Is the sniper rifle that you find on the gas station was just a quick story with 2 objects, a sniper rifle in the pocket secretary, where the email on it is actually a contract about killing something to kill one of the protesters just to kickstart the huge riot, which actually was cancelled. That's why the player can actually find the sniper rifle.
But for the riot, you had your revenge in Detroit too, right?
Oh yeah.
And
yeah, and also like the design of the building again shows very well a bit of the art direction for the architecture. The idea is that it looks really much like cells, you know, like the way that the facade is done, which has to do with biology and all that kind of stuff. And it's pretty much taken from a real building that's it's in Tokyo, and I think it's a store actually, but it's very much alike. I have to admit, yeah.
That's a very big change.
What's your pleasure, friend?
Going from like, oh yeah, here's this secret. She's like, hey, here's this secret sniper rifle for you to pick up. And the context behind it is, oh well, actually there was a guy who was supposed to shoot a protester to start the riot. It's a very big change. Anyway.
Be sure that
it's really interesting how playing the same game just like a couple years apart can put a lot of things into perspective. Okay. So, is there... I'm just gonna end up upgrading my guns at this point. I already have 2 that have laser targeting. I don't know if I can put that on, Oh my god. I'm gonna have to go in and out of my inventory constantly to do this. I don't remember, because there's only like 1 to 2 more. You know what?
How may I be of...
Because it's not like I'm using guns much anyway, or like I ever use them, so... That is for pistols. Ooh.
Always.
Okay, it's overheating. I assume that means that I'm able to fire for longer.
What?
I've never really used this, use these upgrade systems like all too much. So it's fun actually getting a chance to. Because honestly, using guns in this feels a lot like using them in in Hitman, where like they're clearly there as an option that the players are allowed to use. And they very much like expect certain players to use them, But in my case, I literally just never did. Which is why it's really nice to have the chance to. What is this? The reload speed.
What?
Because it's also not like I've ever used this target leading system. The gap gun is cool, and it is pretty nice. Oh, right, I didn't spend time, like, at all in the PD, which means I don't really have a...
What?
That's right, I wasn't able to steal a lot of stuff from them. Target leading, armored piercing, that's only for the 10mm, and then these two I don't need. So if I saw something that's like 50? Yeah, if I saw something like 50, I can now buy armored piercing. Ah, but I already had that, so that was pointless. Please don't tell me I just wasted my app. I did. Oh well. Okay. So now I am flat broke. But okay, definitely faster. Ooh, wait, it just... Oh, it doesn't change the ammo type, it just makes the rounds explosive? Meh. Wait, where do I have to go? Da-na-na-na. So I just gotta go across. Okay. That is a stock scream, because I know I've heard that elsewhere. Please give me an excuse. Wanted a rifle ammo. That is my justification. All I did was knock him out. It's not like I did... Oh no, somebody found the body.
You sure you closed the door? Yeah. Of course I did. What do you think I am? Idiot? You're not gonna make me answer that, are you? Someone over there.
Listen.
Yeah, so here's one of the examples where one of the things I was psyched about in the story is a lot of times in games you have to cut late, and that kind of ruins your whole story. But we actually did a pretty good job of keeping things intact. However, we did have to cut several locations.
Yeah.
This part, going into the Purity First sewers, they were originally supposed to be Utah. There was supposed to be an entire center that you go
Huge
to
compound,
in Utah, and it was quite
That
big.
was a nice one too.
But
it was
we had,
a rehab for
people, for people that got their augmentations removed. Yeah.
yeah, but unfortunately, I think it ended up being way too big, and then we had to decide suddenly to cut it. And I think Frank, you were the one who came up with the solution. Where could we put the rehabilitation center?
Yeah, I went to my lead level designer and I said, you know, I know that we need to cut some stuff. Humanity First seems to be the best solution. So I have an apartment I'm not really using in the apartment in the Detroit City Hub. So maybe you could place all the objective inside. I could tweak it, do some fun with it. And
it's because what we need to say is that the rehab center was hiding a Purity First terrorist training camp
in the basement.
And we lost the Humanity First rehab center, but what you proposed was to keep the Purity First kind of HQ.
Exactly.
And we lost the Humanity Front Center. Remember, we had to rename it.
Exactly.
So we reuse the sewer system, the modules that we use. I reuse one of the apartment, and then we play around with the trap. I always wanted to have some traps in the game, and that's why I ended up with my own ideas of having Zeke before encountering Zeke.
A dead body.
Yeah, a dead body with a mine behind underneath it.
And you know that the first time I played your map, I got cut because I was like, oh, dead body, I'm going to loot, and pooh, it blew.
I did it just for you, Jeff.
But you had to
was
move
really
it, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Or picked up something.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Speaking of landmines, I believe the trick is that if I move that, or if I pick up the thing that it's under, it'll set off the mine. So... Yep, there it is. I don't know why that didn't set it off, but... Can I...
You blew it, man.
Okay, I was wrong. That was like specifically a rat trap.
Show yourself.
Buddy, I already let you live.
You know I'm going to find you.
Ooh, right. You know what?
Stink of fear, Skinner. Hands is gone.
Why did you fire?
So long, sucker. Asshole. Oh, shit. I'm out.
I've never used this upgrade before. Come on.
Show yourself.
Why is this just a hand cannon now? Okay, I'll take that. That means that every... Like, look at that. That's elaborate. Like, and it's specifically jury-rigged to work like that. It wasn't a face check. It is him. I don't remember what happens. I don't remember, but I think that there was like... No, this was like the end of his thing. Where like this happens. Like regardless of what you do, I think.
Well, that's one of the really few secret passage, secret hidden places we have in the game.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that on that one. Since the beginning of the game, we focused so much on the main pillars of the game, how to support the ingredients that we have in the game and all that. Eventually, once you're pretty late in the production, you feel very at ease with your mechanics, and you always, and as a level designer, you always try.
Hang on, let me upgrade this so I can hack through this.
Try to find twists on
That's
how
when
to
you
reuse.
start kind of having fun.
Exactly.
I
Every
didn't
time you
need
see
to
an
do
ingredient,
that.
sometimes there's always a twist just to make it more interesting and whatnot. So that's why I wanted to have this big, huge wall. Originally, it was a book, the classic bookcase, but we didn't do that. So we just used the wall to just open it up with the lighting effect. It was very, very cool.
But it's something that when we look at the game, we felt that it's not that we should have done tons more, but they should have been done more. Yeah,
not tons, but more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, because we're very late in production, we get used to all those things. Then trying to figure out how the other level designers or the level team can actually add those. It's very late in production, so those guys cannot do.
Pritchard, looks like Sandoval's got a secret bunker.
Wait, then what's here?
I'm gonna flush him out.
Let's hope he's still there.
This is the spot, man. Keep looking. Someone's playing. Get him! Holy shit!
I have to remember what the button is for... Like, for some reason I keep wanting to call it the Sandoval stand. You know what? I just realized I could use this for the funniest thing. That it? No, that was the wrong one. Okay. Ow. That took me a sec to realize if it was right in front of me or if it was under me. I couldn't tell if that was the indicator or the grenade itself. Come on, I have enough, don't I? I have enough, don't I? I have enough. I have enough. I have enough. I think I have enough. I think I have enough. Oh, they're down there. I have no comment for that description. I will not say in one direction or the other how such a response makes me feel. That is my statement. Why am I picking up sniper rifle ammo? Why am I picking up shotgun ammo? I can't just drop down there either. I can get closer. Closer, baby, closer. Wait, what? That was an accident, but acceptable. Fuck off. Whatever. I have one more shot. It's like, what happened? What happened, guys? Just turn around for a brief second. It won't hurt, I promise. I lied.
You son of a bitch!
That weapon is so highly impractical, but it is still... Is that email from Act Gaggles? Can I not move this? How do I get through here? I completely forgot. Oh, right. The body trick. Come here. Okay, so it was either through there or... I'm taking you. Nothing personal, kid. I just need your body. Because I'm too lazy to shut off the lasers. I thought that was going to be a flashbang. You don't get to bury your comment by bringing up a South Korean bunker.
Gunshots! You've got to help me! You've got to come!
I'm only gonna ask you this once, Sandoval. Where are the scientists you helped kidnap?
I don't know!
I know all about FEMA and how you removed the GPLs.
I didn't! I didn't remove anything! I swear it! The operation was too dangerous! They would have died if I removed them! All I could do was switch them to a lower frequency!
The GPLs are still broadcasting?
I don't know. Probably.
Well, Sandy, you're gonna help me find out. We're going back to Detroit, where you and I are gonna...
Don't do it.
Come out! I see you!
Pritchard, get this. The GPLs are still transmitting. Sandoval switched them to a lower frequency.
But they could be broadcasting anywhere in the world. I don't have the type of equipment we'll need to find them.
It's our only lead, Pritchard. You have to do something.
I know. Listen, the riot's still blocking the street entrance. Head back to your apartment and Malik will fly you over. Maybe by the time you get here, I'll have figured out something.
I mean, at least Isaias is alive, and that's what matters. US South, not Korea. I don't know why I mentally thought you said Korea. I saw South and then my brain auto-completed for some reason. Both those went off without it messing up. Interesting.
Access granted.
There's nothing odd about the way that I gasp. It's normal. I thought that was a dead body. Damn it, that's right. I could have talked to Taggart. I wanted to punch him. There's nothing odd. I took fall damage from that. My fault for being able to jump to you. Ow. Hi. Oh, hang on. Where is it?
Well, now we're with Patrick Garon, which was our technical level designer on the project, and for this moment what we want to talk about is the fact that we wanted to have some events in the game where they were not necessarily side quests per se, but they were events in which your morality could be affected if someone is attacked or something like that, and you could intervene and with consequences, but it didn't happen, right?
Yeah, to do Squid event in Deus Ex, it was hard. Like, we had a lot of good ideas, and we had two major limitations. Like, the first one I can think of is the engine, but also production-wise. And the engine was allowing us to put animation, but to be able to synchronize
I have to make sure I do this right.
PC together, to manage the interruption and all that was not something that was simple to do with our engine. So
I don't think
and
a
when we were able to do
does that.
It became like a problem of production, because to create a very simple situation, with the Deus Ex game, you don't have a choice but to ask you what happened if the player do that, or there can do so many different
the
ways.
chaos and all that.
Thank you for stopping
he has
by.
augmentation that he can go and
As
sneak
long as
and be,
you
like,
enjoy yourself, it's always worth
invisible, so he
that.
will not interrupt.
That. As long as you enjoyed yourself, then it's perfectly fine if you have to leave early.
Before the event, after the event.
It's very complex.
So it becomes a very something simple become very complex. So we always ask ourselves, what if? And for our game, when we want to create quality, so we will ask, will the player will be happy with the result, and we
think
spend
I heard
most
this
of
one
that
before, but
time
I'm not completely
doing the
sure.
side quests instead, because there will be a good story that will be developed, and those encounters we decided to to cut them or to change the scope and to something very simple.
You also want fine silver, not just gold. Gold's fragile. And it'd be too gaudy. Gaudy or gaudy? Wait, why is that? One. Why do I have a shotgun? I don't need it. Oh, no, I can use it for like a bit. 2, 3, 4, 5. Put that on 6 and we're good. Hime-sama. And up we go. I guess I might as well use the shotgun while I still can, since I'm probably going to get rid of it pretty soon. I still have a bunch of Typhoon ammo too. That track sounds pretty familiar. Anti-augmentation riot erupts worldwide. Tonight across North America, Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, protesters are turning up in the tens of thousands to voice their opposition to unregulated human augmentation research by biotech corporations. Many have begun burning cars and looting businesses to get their point across. You're not looting a business to get your point across. Violence erupt after satellite footage surfaced showing unidentified scientists performing torturous vivisections like experiments on teams of so-called augmented super soldiers. Images of procedures have garnered near universal condemnation from the international community. In Detroit, huge crowds have gathered in front of Seraph Industries, swelling the protesters' numbers of those who had attended anti-augmentation crusader Bill Taggart's speech at the Mullins Convention Center. Heavily armed police units have been brought in to restore order. Artists Against Violence have announced an upcoming benefit concert to promote peace. Slated for the Trinity Theater in Los Angeles, all proceeds will go to the Retake Our City initiative. Confirmed artists include superstar Naisha Akeem and the Rockers, the 7-Day Syndicate. Okay, sorry. Damn, I didn't mean to be in your way. Malik wouldn't snitch.
Nice detective work, Jensen. You ready to return to HQ?
Yep.
Yeah. Let's hope Pritchard's found that frequency.
You said it.
Malik would always have my back. I forget how either little or how long you're actually here. I think you're here for like only a couple minutes. Like just to talk to Seraph and then you're out. I actually wonder if, depending on what happens, because I remember the next Shanghai visit also being really short. No, because there's one more thing that has to happen before you go to Shanghai and then the missing link. This is definitely the slower part of the
Great. So what exactly am I
slower
supposed
part
to
of
do?
like the game winding down.
You should check in with the boss.
I can just send him an
entire young all gathered around their TV screens watching Elijah's bias coverage and laughing at us. Locked up in our offices because of a mob of lunatics.
On top of that, they're probably the ones running those super soldier drills in the first place.
Why can't the police just push all the rioters back so we can leave?
It doesn't work like that, Christian. There's something called civil order that needs to be maintained.
I just want to get home before the Pistons game.
Tour our facilities firsthand.
Okay, I never.
So what do we do if they start storming the front doors?
Just push them back. But here's the thing. If one of them manages to get inside, it's a free-for-all. You hear that, Kozak?
No kicking in teeth unless absolutely necessary. Got it, sir.
Regulation. I didn't even know Wi-Fi had regulations. Oh, that's actually... That's a lot of really interesting sound design that, like, I don't think easily like 90% of players have ever heard. Because, like, what reason would you have to go towards the front door? Why are you smoking indoors?
Here we have a good example of show don't tell with this plate on the wall where we make this building feel much more important and bigger than
Marketing under construction.
What is actually playable.
And I remember the first version of it when I was playing it, the level artist had slapped up a sign, and it basically just had 3 floors to the whole building because that's really all you get to explore.
But when you're outside, it's humongous.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, guys, we gotta have more in there. We gotta have like more offices and more things to show this. So we ended up submitting a list to them, and some of the things we wanted didn't get in there. Like we wanted a cafeteria named the Swallow's Nest, named after one of the writers who worked with us. And then the whole part about this is all under construction, it ended up helping us to explain why you only go to a few floors, and yet also tie into the story.
Hang on, radio station. Yeah. Unfortunately, running your own pirate radio station is illegal, but it being illegal and being a pirate radio station does mean that it's really cool. Running at an incorrect frequency, it sounds more like a minor error than
So actually now we see a guard in the front of the camera. It's
been like a
actually
crime.
one of the first concept art we did as we were researching for the cyber renaissance.
This design goes back to a really long time, like probably something like September or October 2007, and before story, before everything, and I think that's like the only place we ended up figuring out that we could fit them in.
Yeah, because we thought they were really cool,
Yeah.
and then we were like, you know what, they don't fit in the story, they don't fit in the world.
Okay, that makes sense, especially in a
we
hospital.
were like, Yudaru will have some guards with him and stuff like that, and we were like, hey, we thought about those guys, and let's bring
And
them
they
back.
do fit.
And it works really well because they also kind of help establish the presence of Darrow, which was something that we were struggling with a lot in the game. We knew that we wanted to feature him more. We do put him down, you know, you can go to one of the pillars and you can hear about Hugh Darrow, but you don't know who he is. You see newspaper articles with him. But this scene needed to communicate so much about Darrow, kind of make him this mysterious figure and make him kind of, well, is he a good guy, is he a bad guy, I don't know. And I think those bodyguards kind of helped to add to that sense of, wow, this is a powerful guy. So in the end, I think it works.
And the cinematic director wanted to
I guess if you do
close
make,
to the
like,
fireplace
accidentally
with
making mistakes like that
flames,
illegal, it
and
does
therefore
help
we
prevent
alluded
people
to the
from
fact
even
that it
attempting
was
something like
bringing
that.
hell on Earth, eventually. So.
Dark stuff.
Going back to Hanshaw Island, Frank tracked down one of the GPLs.
Only one? Is it?
Sevchenko's. But Adam had to call in a favor of the DOD to do it.
Meaning, the conspirators probably know I'm coming.
You're Adam Jensen, right? The security chief here? Your men did a good job securing this building when the riot broke out.
Late 70s want their gear back. So now we go back to Hangsha, which is the important one, because I'm going to be dealing with that glitch for, like, as long as I'm doing stuff in there. Which is important to note, because that will have some slight gameplay implications. But I do wonder how close I can get to a limb clinic and get a commentary on it. Also, that means that this is going to be the part with Malik. I almost forgot about that.
Boss said we're heading back to Hangsha?
Pritchard tracks Shevchenko's GPL signal. If he's alive, there's a chance the rest of them are too.
That's a pretty big leap, Jensen.
We've been making big leaps for a while now.
Whatever you say. You ready to get going?
No time like the present. Let's get going.
Then hop in.
Yeah, so now I just realized because he called in assistance from the DoD, it definitely means that they're responsible for this.
So yeah, this cutscene has been quite a challenging one to produce. Then Jensen goes back to Hangsha for the second time, but this time around he's ambushed by the bell tower guards, since he already did quite a lot of mess so far in the game. And at this point, like, we were trying to give a sense of not the
dismissal shot. Sorry.
To give a justification for the VTOL to crash, but without using an explosive. So we went with this kind of an MP grenade, and getting the FX was quite challenging. And you might not notice, but the layout of the map where the plane crashes, it's reverse compared to where you start in the game, but nobody sees it.
Malik, we've got company.
I know, but the bird took some damage. Gonna need to patch it up before I can go.
I'll stay in cover.
Negative. You need to get away from here and find Dr. Shevchenko. I'll be fine.
You'll be a sitting duck.
Maybe, maybe not. But this is your best chance to slip by them unnoticed, and you know it. Get out of here, Jensen.
I do not care about getting by unnoticed. I don't know how to deal with these. I'm so dead. Okay. Still alive. I don't even remember the route that you're supposed to take if you want to do this, if you want to do this either like non-lethally or ghosting it, because I know that it's like really hard.
Jensen, the bird's fixed and I'm taking off. Now get on with the damned mission. And thanks, bye boy.
I don't think I have ever done that, like, loud before. Because I know there's a way of doing that non-lethally. I think there's a way of doing it non-lethally, and you either have to find an EMP grenade that's around here, or you have to store one for it. Because if you don't, the box is like the biggest issue. You can take out the rest of them pretty consistently, but that's the one thing that's like really difficult. I'm gonna be so mad if I kill myself with this. I remember that was also something that tricked people for a while, because I remember that I remember a lot of people tried to do it, but they were either too slow or whatever, certain issues, and a lot of people were kind of convinced that Malik, like, was essentially forced to die here. But no, you just needed to be either very creative or very fast. But no, the game gave you pretty good options of helping her out. And I also think I technically came out Emma positive. Another important thing to note is that because I know after leaving this Hengsha is missing Link, it means I get free reign to use my ammo as much as I want.
I remember very much when Frida dies, having to do this whole thing. It was quite a process to get it. It was really, you know, you play the whole game and Frida is with you and she's your companion. And Jensen and Malik have this relationship. They only call each other by their last names throughout, very professional. And this was a scene that would really strike, and it's the one time he actually uses her name. And you only get this scene if you haven't managed to save her, if you actually flee. And the other thing that I remember about it was that the person who kills her, who shoots her, it depends on some of your earlier choices. There is the TYM head of security, Nahari Khan, who you could have seen in the eavesdropping scene in Tong's office if he had done that.
In the hive.
In the hive. And then if you didn't do it there, then it would be potentially he was leading the charge of Bell Tower soldiers, and you could have killed him at that point in the capsule hotel. And if you didn't kill him then, he might end up inside Tai Young medical offices and patrolling. And if you didn't kill him then, he was the one who actually comes out and kills her. But if you managed to kill him, it was a different guard. And I remember most players probably don't even know who Nahari Khan is. But for many of the members on the team, he was such an important person.
Character.
we created this whole thing for ourselves, you know?
Yes.
You know, in that event, one of my friends called me the moment Malik died, pissed off at me.
Yeah.
Like, why did you kill her? Like,
this became a huge thing. All the fan art of Adam and Farida
the whole relationship,
together,
everything.
People like it became stronger than Adam and Megan. Like
Absolutely.
People think that the ones who should have been in love are these two, and when she dies, and I remember like the countless meetings we had for how are we going to see her being killed?
Yes.
How far do we want to bring the camera? Is it going to be a cutscene? Is it going to be in game?
Yeah.
Far, close? It just
that was hard, tough decisions.
That's really interesting to hear. But yeah, this was also one of like the major things that people talked about, because it was
Jensen,
hard for them
I've
to
been monitoring calm activity around Hengsha. Bell Tower's looking for you. Hard.
like. This is a hard scene to like figure out how to do, especially
Forced us to make an emergency landing. Malik barely got away in time.
especially if you're going stealth.
The good guys.
Just give them a wide berth, Jensen. If they recognize you, they'll shoot.
Then I'll shoot back. It's really not that difficult. For I come from the wondrous land of the free, we call that stand your ground law. Or was it self-defense? I'm pretty sure you can use both interchangeably and it still works. So this was the one... Yep. That's a Wilhelm screen. It's pitched down, but it's a Wilhelm screen.
Well, after getting out of the construction site, whether you save or not for the Malik. At this point, Adam Jensen experiences another
he just teleports back up here.
glitch
Okay.
of his augmentations.
Again, such an important story point.
Yeah,
and we couldn't
again.
handle it very well.
Yeah, and you see, like, as you get out of the construction site, you see the NPC falling over the ledge of the balcony and the other ones around, but it never...
Jensen, it's Pritchard. Have you been watching the news?
Been a bit busy, Francis.
Jensen, the World Health Organization is advising all augmented patients to check in with Lim. There's a problem with biochip technology.
The glitches I've been experiencing.
We've all had them. So far, I can't determine why.
You heading to a clinic?
I'm running a few more tests. But since I can't exactly run them on you, and we don't know when you'll be back, you might not want to wait. Up to you.
So, new update. Get a new biochip at the Limb Clinic. Castle Jockton can play anywhere if you're in your car. Technically, I was in my helicopter. Also, very... So I don't know if we'll run... I don't think that there's a commentary for it, but it is pretty smart. Because, one... Where is it? Mission. It just says find the GPL. Secondary objective, get a new biochip. The World Health Organization has discovered a problem with the augmentation technology. Could be the cause of these malfunctions I've been having. I should visit the Limb Clinic if I want to get a new biochip that'll fix it. So it is a secondary objective. However, it is not on the map. But, because you spawn here, and it tells you, oh, go up. So, you go up here. You look here. Bell tower right there. They'll immediately be warned by you. And walking through that is really difficult. So, what you instead do is that you go down this way. Like, okay, it's a lot safer. You've already seen the glitch. This is when you get the call by Pritchard. Limb Clinic. It is not forcibly on your way. You also see the line of people, so like you know that it's directly around the corner. Like, it is very signposted. Hey, here is the nearest Limb Clinic. You can use it. But it's not on your quest. It's not marked as like a normal quest or a quest side objective. So I'm just gonna walk by it. Cause why concern myself with that? I know why, but like for first time players, like no, that absolutely it absolutely catches a lot of players. But it's also something that happens later. Like there's not an immediate consequence for it. It's something that you do and you're like, oh, okay, I don't have to worry about the glitches anymore, and oh, well, if I'm here and I have a bunch of money, I can just get another practice kit, because, like, why
Mr.
not?
Jensen, Hugh Darrow here. Please forgive this intrusion, but David assured me of your cooperation and discretion.
Why do you have my phone number?
I find myself in need of some assistance.
I'm listening.
A contact of mine, Meng Yao, is in Hengsha, waiting to fill you in. I'll upload her coordinates now.
That is... I forget what that side quest is. She is, like, up here. Yeah. She's at the top of this building. It's like... Gachapon! Using a high jump so that you can get over or like start climbing ladders at a higher position was one of the first kind of tricks that I
Mr. Jensen,
remembered figuring out on my
Thank
own.
you for your time. I am Meng Yao, an associate of Mr. Darrow's.
I'm in charge of one of his divisions here in Hengsha. You come highly recommended.
Really?
Your boss described you as a most precious asset. Apparently, you are very efficient and always get the job done. We could definitely use a man like you for this operation.
Unreceptive.
An asset, huh? I guess that's the right word. I can't say I'm a big fan of being shoved around and shared like a stapler.
A state-of-the-art, multi-million-dollar stapler.
An official
Mr.
Bandai
Jensen.
Gachapon.
There's no reason
What was
to
in
be
it?
insulted. I'm
Like, was it
an
just a
asset
specific brand,
too.
or was it just something that they
And
made?
if my employer considers me valuable enough to recommend my services to a friend, I would be honored.
What is it you want?
We need you to help us stop a group of terrorists who are threatening the Panchaea project. Are you up to it?
Okay, I'll help out.
Excellent. Here's the situation. It has come to our attention that these terrorists possess highly classified proprietary information about Panchaea. We've been able to convince them to sell it to one of our agents, a man named Lo Fei. The meeting is supposed to take place near
Can
the
you shop
Alice
full of
Garden
it?
Pods in the Daigong district.
That actually sounds
And
really
you want
neat.
me to crash this meeting?
Actually, there will not be a meeting. We are sending you alone to ensure
I like the idea of
Mr. Fei's
Gachapon.
safety. The
Nintendo
terrorists will
Gundam.
not be expecting that, and will have the information with them.
I'd probably
on
get like a
data
little
chip.
Gundam Gachapon.
You have to neutralize all of the sellers and retrieve the chip so you can bring it to me.
I don't get it. If Faye set up the meeting,
That's,
why risk sending me
I'm
in
like
instead?
a little upset that
Why
Gachapon
doesn't
aren't
he
like
or even some of
a
your other
thing
agents drop in on the
here
sellers and take the
unless
chip?
you go to like
Because
very
Mr.
specific
Darrow
stores
wants
that import
an
them.
absolute guarantee that there will be no casualties. We will not play by their rules.
I can't guarantee
We
that.
want them arrested and questioned, then properly prosecuted and sentenced. This will require stealth and efficiency.
Ah, the
That's
things
why
I'm
a
worse
man
at.
with your particular skills will be indispensable.
Sure.
Let's do this.
So where's the meeting location? Daigong. This is also the one place where having Icarus would be really helpful, but I don't use it here. Pop video game stores, they usually have those. Lucky. I have to go to like a very... There's like only one store that I know of even anywhere near me that has like a gachapon machine. But it's also like the only store that has like anime figures and stuff.
You're in the wrong part of town, Lao At. You're in the wrong part of town, Lao At.
Who tells me where to go? Guess I'll go the other way around. I'll do it again. Give me like 2 seconds to regenerate this.
You're in the wrong part of town.
Ooh, revolver ammo. You would have a lot more of those things around. Lucky. Is it worth... Whoops. Wrong. That was a mispress, but...
Over here!
Damn it. Yeah, I have nothing like that around me. I'm just like a fucking... I don't want to say like it's a cultural desert, but... Not exactly a lot to do, nor a lot of very interesting places or interesting places to go.
Is someone there?
What was that noise? Can I... That's a weak throwing arm, Jensen. Some vacation. Lucky, yeah. Honestly, I wish I was around a lot more anime stuff. Or like even just able to go to things that like... There's not like anything like around me that's that has like anything relevant to my interests like at all. Like there's just literally not a lot of like anything interesting to even like go out and see. There's not even like a lot of theaters or culture in general, which are things that I'm like really big into. Do it, coward. Do it, coward. Turn that corner. Turn that corner. It's like, why don't you go out much? Why don't you go to the mall and do anything? Like, oh, probably because there's nothing to do even at the mall. Living in the sticks sure is pretty boring.
Access granted.
It still took me like a while to even like really even consider that I was like
Well,
near
now we
the
enter
sticks.
the Harvester hideout, like the group of Tong Xiong. Actually, they were supposed to be scavengers in Bangalore, but since we cut Bangalore...
yeah, we had the whole idea in Bangalore that Bangalore is like this technological city. It rose on the height of the technology boom, and then when it all fell apart, it...
Whoops. Whoops. I messed up. I'm gonna be using all of these practically.
Access granted.
Okay. Oh, I remember this one.
Well, now we enter in the Harvester hideout, like the group of Tong Xiong. Actually, they were supposed to be scavengers in Bangalore, but since we cut Bangalore...
Like,
yeah, we had the whole idea in Bangalore that Bangalore is like this technological city. It rose on the height of the technology boom, and then when it all fell apart, it busted. And so that you'd have these people who were scavengers in Bangalore who were taking the tech and repurposing it and trying to make a living off of that.
And they became the Harvesters in Angsha, and actually they were inspired by the scavengers we see in the AI movie from Steven Spielberg, where all the robots are going to try to go for the parts they're missing, and that's why also the Harvesters have all kind of those souped up augmentations and everything. And I think also that they're kind of they were supposed to be the organized crime that was really related somewhat loosely
by putting all the events of Bangalore. Yeah, by putting all the events of Bangalore into Hengsha, the return visit, we were able to beef up Tong Si Hung's crime organization. And since he's a reference back to DX1, his son Tracer Tong is part of the triads. So the Harvesters became, the scavengers from Bangalore became the Harvesters, who are part of the triad groups in Hengsha.
Oh yeah, in that way. Okay.
Yeah, no. Like, I like going out. I like doing things. But like, there kinda needs to be a thing to even do.
Access granted.
Or a place to even go. And if there's just like nothing, then it's like, so I'm just kind of driving around to do nothing. Well, not driving around to do nothing, driving around to just waste gas. Which is not advisable. And so you either spend a lot of money going out to maybe enjoy yourself, and then also have to worry about however much gas you're probably wasting, or you instead indulge in video games. And I know which one I'd rather prefer, because at the very least I'm at least experiencing culture in some way. As I knock out a guy with a welding mask. Wrong place, wrong time. I said I wasn't gonna be stealthing, and I completely keep forgetting. Like, it is just my innate default for engaging in games that even have stealth systems. Ooh, I'll take these. Sniper rifle ammo. I have sniper rifle ammo that I'm not using. Which means I don't need that. I will take that. Ooh, I can use these then. Laser rifle battery. Cooling system. It's also not like you got a lot of, what was I gonna say? What was the words I was gonna use? I don't know. I keep trying to use, like, stimulating, but that's not it. Because there's a lot of things that you can do that are, like, surface level entertaining, but, like, not a lot of it really engrosses me. Like, it's really neat and, like, I'll think it's cool. Kaboom. Weird that that's fading in and out based on if I'm ADSing or not. Like, I don't know. Like, if I had the chance, I'd rather go out and do something that, like, I know I'd enjoy. Not because, like, I only want to do things I enjoy. But, like, I also feel bad when people, like, spend money on me for things that, like, I don't enjoy. Because like the gift itself means a lot to me, but I feel bad because I feel like I wasted that person's money. Like, oh, it means a lot that you did this very nice thing for me, but didn't really like it probably as much as you would have preferred that I did. Which rounds out to me feeling bad because I'm like, oh, well, they could have either spent that money on something that they would have enjoyed, or I don't know. Like, that's part of the reason why I stopped going to... Not like entirely, but it feeds into why I didn't, why I kind of stopped going to going with people to see like random movies, because it's like, oh well, that's when I got very conscious of my preferences in like media and such, because I hated... What do you mean? How are you? How are you so beefy? Because I hated going to movies and like people... I hated going to movies and it's like either a movie I didn't know much about, or it's a movie that like I kind of knew that... it's all the way up here again. Whatever, I'll shoot my way through. It's either a movie I didn't know much about, or it's a movie that like I wasn't really excited about or like interested in, but they're like, no, it'll be fine, like I just like, I want to spend time with you, and like, okay, but then it's like, oh, what did you think of the movie? And it's like I'm trying so hard not to just only complain, because like, yeah, that's something that they did. It's a nice thing that they did, purely with the best intent, but I didn't vibe with it, and it's like, oh, I kind of would have rather just been doing something that like either I actually enjoyed, or we could have done something that we both would have enjoyed. So I guess part of that's kind of like the reason why I stopped, at least when it came to like certain friend recommendations. Or whenever like I was invited out to like a movie. Because it's like, oh, I'm interested in this, do you want to see it? And like I would have to give like an honest opinion. It's like, no, I'm not really interested, and like, oh, it doesn't really look that good. Because I would rather that person be momentarily disappointed that I didn't want to watch a movie with them than feel bad if they wasted their money on me watching a movie I didn't like.
Access granted.
Like, it's a very unique kind of situation, because it happens a lot. Not like a lot, but like I'll be in situations where somebody does want to do something nice for me. Or like somebody wants to do something nice for me, or like, oh, they want to go out and do certain things, or like they want to go and check a place out, and it's like, okay, I have to I have to figure out if I like the thing before we do it. Or else I'll feel bad. Which is also why I'm typically very apprehensive about about whenever like somebody asks me to go out and do something. I probably come off as very high maintenance. When in actuality, it's more just me being very, I don't know what's the word for it. Because it's not me being self-conscious. Can't see where the one is. That's like stealth. It's not like me being self-conscious. I guess just concern or something. I have a really bad habit for feeling bad when people care about me. Uh-oh. No, you didn't. This is bad. Did I actually sneak by? I did. Because again, it's not like I'm super... It's not like I'm super high maintenance or super needy. It's just like... I'm very... conscience. Or conscious. Yeah, conscious. I'm very conscious of, like other people's circumstances or the things that they're kind of like either doing or going through. And then if I don't know. Like, is it possible to have a negative, like a positive bad? Like a negative positive trait? Oh, that's right, I didn't need to do that, so I wasted that. It's like, it's very unfortunate for you. I'm sorry that you enjoy my company or care about me in any way, shape, or form. I will do my best to make sure that it doesn't happen again. For your own benefit. An interview trait? It's like, oh, I'm such a hard worker. Please don't flashbang me. Like, I'm such a hard worker. Like, no... Like, haha, I like my job so much that I got in trouble at my old job because they were telling me I was working too hard. Actually, that actually did happen though. Well, not that it was working too hard. It was more so that I was working through lunch breaks. I just realized that this is actually going to sound kind of bad. Because this actually does sound really bad. Where, because it was a job that I had when I was working in high school. This was before certain things changed. But basically the rules were that under a certain age you couldn't have minors working for too long. Like, you couldn't have them working too straight without an allotted break. But it's not like there were time cards or anything. Like, all they really... Well, no, there was a time card. That was the problem. There was a... Like, you were supposed to punch out during your breaks. Because, like, yeah, you're taking your break, so punch out, which means that, like, oh, then you don't get paid for your break. And it's like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But I had the idea of what if I hit the wrong button. I had the idea of like, oh, well, if I just don't clock out for my break, then I can make more money. And that's not what you think it sounds like. It's not like, oh, I'll just take my break without clocking out. No, I did the inverse of that, which was, hang on. I did the inverse of that, which was I would just work through my break. I would just work through my break and not have my break. Because I'm like, oh, if I just keep working, then I can make more money. Because, like, why would I try to maximize the amount of time where I'm not getting paid? But then eventually, I don't know when, but eventually they caught on. They caught on that I wasn't taking my breaks. Because I think one of the things they told me is that they could have gotten into legal trouble with that. So, like, anytime that I was, like, getting close to my break, like, anytime that I was getting close to when I was supposed to have a break, one of the, not one of the managers, but, like, one of the, assistant managers, like, they would keep tabs on me. Like, they kept tabs on me to make sure that, like, hey, Banii, you need to take your break. Because they didn't want to get sued for, like, labor violations. But I think I still did it. I think I still did it, like, a couple times. Because it's just like, no, I want that thing. Like, I'm here to work. I want to get the thing that I want. Which means I need money. And if I work through, like, 1 to 2 more breaks, that's more time that they have to pay me for. That's one of those actual, like, that's one of those interview traits that sounds really good on paper until in practice, and they're like, oh, you're a walking lawsuit. That is an actual, like, negative positive trait.
So here we're in the room where, depending on how it went with you guys with trying to save Farida Malik or not. But if you failed, she ends up
Right, she would show
being
up
dead
here.
on the table here. And originally, like now she's just dead there, but originally she had severed limbs and everything. It was more a gruesome scene to make it even more disgusting. Like that.
We even saw some of her like bowels sticking out.
Yeah,
It was really, really gross.
Yeah. But we had to modify it because we were not complying with the Japanese ratings for the game.
And I'm glad that we did, because I know that a lot of fans who failed to save her were absolutely super upset about this. And I remember one person telling me at a convention that he went there, and when he saw her body, he dragged her out of here. He searched through all the streets of Hengsha to find a safe place for her, because you do not leave a comrade behind.
Must have been a Marine.
Yes.
The cool thing about that room as well is that it's one of our great showcase of a bit kind of like underground black market augmentation thing, because it was an important thing.
You can see like
the
all
game
the
and in some of the stuff we wanted to do, but in the final product it ended up not being all that present. And in that room you really see like all the
messy
mess,
meat
the blood,
huts.
the awkward tools, I guess, and stuff like that. So
The other side of the metal, basically.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
good,
yeah.
there's all shiny and stuff, and then there's the aftermath.
That's it.
Which you don't see.
visually striking. So one guy there. His fault. Shouldn't have looked. Oh, and of course there's an EMP grenade. But, oh my god. But yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't work at that. Not one of the reasons I don't work there, because like that was a different reason why I ended up stopped working there, but yeah, that's one of those. I work so hard, I am an active walking threat for legal. Though that's probably not exactly something you bring up during an interview, which is like, hey, if you hire me, I'll work so hard that I will make your legal department sweat. Because they could see it, like they could see that I wasn't taking my breaks. Because they're like, why is this time card so much? I hate you. Like, why is this time card out of sync with like all the others who also come in at this time and leave at this other time? Machine pistol, so I don't need it. Why is that one? Why is the lighting on that one changed, like depending on where I'm standing? More mahjong! Concealed. Like 4 triples. Jeez, okay. Trying to think of another. I thought this was Wonder Bread for a second. Trying to think of like if there was another time where like I did something that was like actively detrimental like that. I think there was one time where I accidentally kept putting truffles in the fries. Because for some reason, like, I didn't properly understand. For some reason, not like intentionally or maliciously, but like I didn't understand. In retrospect, it was really obvious. In retrospect, it's super obvious, but very clearly, for some reason, I didn't think people like could have a food allergy to truffles. Thankfully, when I was doing it, nobody did, because that would have been really, really, really bad. But like, no, there was like one time where I kept putting truffles into the fries, and I was like doing it for most of the day, and I didn't stop doing it until like somebody caught me and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, this is how you like prepare for the fries all the time, right?" I'm like, "No, you only do that when they ask for it." I'm like, "Oh, I thought that was just how you put the fries together." They didn't let me back around that area for a while.
So there's not a lot of computers in the Harvester
Wait, I gotta...
hangout, but one of them in particular belongs to Tracer Tong. We needed to establish his presence, first of all, for the link back to Deus Ex, but also because you could have, in different versions of this, depending on what you do, you might be sent on a mission by Tong to rescue his son Tracer. And so we kind of tried to put evidence around through emails and things about Tracer, his connection to the Harvesters, and foreshadowing how in Deus Ex 1 he's going to end up being kind of anti-augmentation.
Yeah.
And so we did it, and one of the computers here in particular belonged to him.
And thanks to Steven, because he was the one really pushing for us to nail Tracer Tong, and you came up with, like, I can't remember, you had a document at some point about how to do it right.
It's because we had this bonus mission that we were adding, and
that's
I
right,
really
that was the
wanted to put a lot of
DLC.
emphasis so that the real,
Or it was also added for this.
DX1 fans would be able to recognize, and people who aren't will play, they'll enjoy it. But I really wanted to send at least a message of devoted fans, like, here's some information about Tracer Tong that you might not have known about, or stuff like that. Just little throwbacks are always fun.
So because of you, we didn't screw it up.
Yeah.
I have a machine pistol. I'm not going to use that. I don't know how I got to me being a walking, like... This is Tracer Tong's direction for the Terminator reboot. Have they not touched Terminator since Dark Future? No, it wasn't Dark Future. I was gonna say like Days of Futures Past. I can't remember what the uh-oh. I can't remember what the last Terminator movie was, because I know I saw it too. They brought me a new subject last night. The Augs in the body were mostly useless. We did recover a cloaking device in near perfect condition. I wouldn't do the subdermal implant with it, but it would be a great handheld. Are you interested? I don't know how I got to that. I don't know how I got to that from the whole me not being able to... Me not being able to, There's a Terminator anime? There was an anime? I didn't hear about it at all.
That's far enough, Guilo.
Nice gun, mine shoots explosives. For Netflix, that's probably why. Animation services were provided by Production IG.
Tong.
Masahi Kudo.
You disappoint me, Jensen.
Oh.
I thought we were friends. Then my hacker gets killed. Half my men end up dead. And you don't even have the manners to knock when you enter a room. A lot of bell tower heavies looking for you. Any reason I don't just turn you over?
I could put a gun between your
Vasily
throats.
Sevchenko.
Never touch the stuff.
You're wearing his arm. GPL device inside it. Let me straight to you.
Scavenged tech. Get you every time. Wrong woman, don't do that here. Sorry to say, the man I got this from wasn't in a position to complain. Bell Tower gave us his corpse a few weeks ago.
Bell Tower? Not Tai Young?
Tai Young's not the one grabbing people off my streets then giving me choice args, so I closed my eyes.
Sevchenko had 4 other scientists with him.
I'm not wearing any of them. So maybe they're still alive, and maybe I help you out with this.
Go on.
I've got a pretty good idea where Bell Tower's been dragging people. Problem is, bastard's got my son.
Yeah, I think
And he gets
this
a bullet
was
if I
like.
step out of line. See where I'm going with this?
Where's he being held?
One of my harvester boys will tell you all about it. Meet him in the sewers near the Alice Garden Pods. Then, when you free my boy, come back and we talk some more.
I can hardly wait.
So if I remember. Ooh.
So this dialogue that you have with with Tong Si-hung here was quite challenging to write in many respects. It was actually one of my favorites, but it was very challenging because we had to react to so many things. We had to react to whether you'd killed the harvesters. We had to react to what had happened to Ari Van Bruggen. And so there were all these variables that we had to do. And the one that we almost missed until the last moment was the fact that you might have played all of Hangshao 1 and Tong would never have met you because you could have snuck through the vents and eavesdropped on him. And I didn't catch that because the dialogue was always starting with, oh, you again kind of thing, like, oh, you've ruined all this. And how do we kind of explain that he doesn't know who the heck you are until you walk in here? So we almost missed it, but we caught it, and I was very happy that we did. But Tong was a fun character, very interesting.
And also at this point, like Tong, I mean, we just wonder how many players really make the link that the scientist Chevenko in the walk and talk at the beginning of the game that he has this really weird augmented arm, and now it's not Adam Jensen, Tong Si-hung has it right now. So because now you've played for about almost 20 hours, like to which extent, like
because we've never heard anything from the fans or forums or fan art or whatever in relation to that. So it's, or even articles, reviews. I don't think
it's either nobody remembered it by that time. Oh, we thought it was bigger than it is, and people really don't care.
People were just like, oh, okay, cool. It's that
okay, but
that guy with the mustache at the beginning, that's his arm.
But the Movember guy.
Yeah, the Movember guy. The room as well is a good example of something that was important to us in the game. Sounds like all my stuff started with something that was important to us in the game. So this was also important to us in the game. Was every time there'd be something mundane, you know, like this is kind of like a boiler room or something like that. To always, not always, but as often as possible, to give it something special. And if you look at all the dozens, hundreds, whatever, of light bulbs on the ceiling,
I love those.
It's a bit that. Say that again.
I love those.
You like them? Yeah.
So nice.
Well, see, there we go. Thanks. Yeah. That's kind of like that was the goal. It's like it's so commonplace in video games that. Hey, this is a boiler room. You know, here's a picture of a boiler room, and then you know the level end up looking just like a regular and mundane boiler room, or I don't know. The example I give all the time is you know, it has to happen in the lobby of a bank, and it just looks like a boring bank. And we always try to make sure that those places would have some spunk nonetheless. And this is what these light bulbs do.
The rule probably is that a boring room doesn't have to be boring, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
I want this for my bedroom ceiling.
I don't want to make it for you. Looks like a lot of work.
It must be expensive in electricity, though.
Now how do I make this fit? I probably just have to get rid of the shotgun, because it's not like... Because the lack of damage on it, like, really sucks. Hmm. But, if I recall, this quest was added in the... This quest was added in the director's cut. Because I think before, because I might be off about this, it really depends on how accurate my memory is. I think there's a laser upgrade. Because you could buy the Missing Link DLC. You could buy the Missing Link DLC, and I think depending on either if you pre-ordered the game or if you pre-ordered the game from a specific place, you would get this special mission where just before the next thing that happens, like the actual plot relevant thing, oh, I can't combine that. Before the next big plot relevant thing, you get this quest from Tong. And then he tells you about his son, and it's like, oh, this is the callback to... this is your callback to... Deus Ex 1. But it's like really... It's really quick, blink and you miss it. But also if you don't have it and then you don't download it, then, like, it's not a big deal. So I remember that this was the only way that a lot of people were even able to play this mission. Because it's the only way that I was able to play it. But I remember... I think I bought Missing Link? I think I did. Pretty certain I did. But it's like a very quick quest too. You just run over, you deal with whoever's like around him, and then you go back. Because otherwise, the second Hangshan mission is just like really quick. Because there's not really a lot to do. There's not really a lot to do aside from the side quests that you get, the general main story, and the option of going to the limb clinic. And I don't know how much of that was either deliberate or they did because they didn't want I'm not sure how much of it was like deliberate or how much of it was like, we probably can't have people here too long, so that they don't... I don't know. Because in my head, I always justified it as they did it so that people wouldn't be tempted to do the, to get the upgrade. The replacement chip. Listen. Sometimes you think about efficiency. You don't concern yourself with other things. I also forget if I can make this fall without dying. I am going to drink and find out. Should be fine. Never mind. Turns out, drinking and jumping from tall heights is not a good combo. Who could have guessed? Do not open fire on me, I swear to God. Also, a very good reason as to why you wait to do this quest a little bit later is because 1, you go right here for the main thing, and then this is where the side quest is.
Show yourself.
Sir, I'm right here. Oh, I just realized this actually might be a little bit difficult. It's not. No, that's actually pretty. It's pretty tall. Like, there's probably if you grab something to like slide down. If you did something to slide down, it wouldn't be that bad. Easy. Hi, what is that? Hefferkrocken. Off-brand Heineken, acceptable. Poor guy. So, I don't have to double upgrade. Ooh, wait. This might be a problem. Ooh. I don't know how to deal with this. It's not like you can pickpocket either. This might require a little trial and error, but... Where are you going? Okay, we'll just wait. Battery full. Just need to figure out where he is. Then I free him and then we go. Because I think I talk to Tong and then I go and do the, and then I do, like, the next quest. The next
You
main
want
line.
Tong's boys?
No. I just like hanging out in the sewers because they smell better than what I eat for breakfast. Any other stupid questions?
Do you want to be knocked out?
But if I come up with one, I'll be sure to ask. Where's the kid?
We thought he was in the upper city, holed up nice and tight inside the bell tower compound. But as it turned out, the fox got nervous. Didn't like the look of Tong's flex stick, so they moved his son someplace safer.
What could be safer than inside bell tower headquarters?
You're about to find out, my friend. They're holding him just around that corner in the basement of an old noodle factory. Won't be easy getting him out either, because the men guarding him aren't your typical bell tower police. These are warriors, specially trained, heavily augmented.
I have a feeling I may have met them before. If that's the case, you got an escape plan?
You are the escape plan, my friend. Didn't Tong tell you? If Beltal finds out anyone else is involved, things are going to get very ugly in Lower Hampshire.
So Tong's willing to risk his kid's life on one man's abilities?
Not necessarily. When you get to Tong's son, give him this. He'll know what to do with it. Now get going. Wouldn't want you to miss your next ride.
Yeah, where's the commentary?
So the Tongues mission was a pre-order mission that we did. Actually, that mission was born out of another map that we cut, which was the Bell Tower HQ in Upper Ancient, and this is where you had to go to save Tracer Tongue. And since we discussed, we cut Upper Ancient, and then this Tracer Tongue thing went away. But as we had to make this new mission, we were, wait a second, we can recycle what we cut for Bell Tower and do the Tracer Tongue.
We couldn't recycle everything because we did want to have in Bell Tower. We wanted to have more of the evidence about the Namir and Fedorov, and we were unable to salvage that. But we did get the idea of rescuing Tracer back into this area of the game.
Yeah, but you had to rewrite quite extensively the dialogues for that you already have planned for Bell Tower, which didn't fit anymore with this new environment, which was an old factory.
Yeah, well, the big rewrite for this was actually just the Tong sending you on the mission itself.
Okay.
And we had to rewrite his dialogue and explain away, if you didn't get this mission, we had to explain why he sends you off to the port without getting something in return for it. That was kind of, for us, the big rewrite on this. But then this got to add some interesting new dialogues for Tracer and for all of that as well. So it was a fun little thing to add back.
That sounds really annoying to have done. But it also, unfortunately, was just kind of part of the process, especially around this time. Like, pre-order missions were unfortunately very common. Where it's just like, hey, we have to do something that'll sweeten the deal for people who already want to buy this game. And the answer was, hey, if you're gonna pre-order the game anyway, you might as well get like a special mission. But it's actually not really a special mission, it's something that
If anyone is hiding here, you better come out.
well, no, me saying not that way would be like very cynical, but it's not. It's like that's just a very. It was just like a very common practice. Like now you kind of. Ooh. How am I not dead? Now you either get like either art books or like mini OSTs. Like it's I would say better, but I don't know. Like, because, well, watching anything good? Now I would say it's like somewhat better because back then it was basically get a golden bikini. You see, nowadays you just buy the golden bikini as a part of your new favorite gacha. Just like, hey, you got this game now, so use it. But again, like, it feels like I'm being like a little bit cynical. Like, because we're effectively because pre-orders are helpful. Pre-orders were and still are like incredibly helpful. Like how developers have switched to, that's just a very straight wall. Like how developers have switched to asking you to wishlist your game, wishlist their game.
Rolling. One of the interesting things about
because
Tracer,
wishlist help them like say, okay, this many people are interested, how many people already spent money on it, like it's sales projections.
And look at some of his dialogues. And one of the things I actually requested was that one of the very famous quotes that Tracer says, I wanted Adam to say it to Tracer so that Tracer says it later on to JC,
that's so cool.
But it was kind of like this little throwback that I really wanted to do that I thought was really interesting that for sure the hardcore fans would recognize. But I believe I also remember with Mary, you were a little hesitant to write about Tracer because...
Well, yeah, Tracer is such a beloved character, but he was, you know, beloved from 10 years ago, and people have a
Wishlists are
tendency
very powerful.
to remember differently than it actually exists. And I know that when we had,
effectively just
write
bargaining
dialogues
power
for Tracer in here, that he would be talking or even talking to Adam in the dialogues. And so the writer who I assigned to this, Anakin Slade, actually, it went in and he was listening to all the dialogues and he was doing all those dialogues to try and get the tone. And I remember him coming back to me and saying, man, he's just flat as all get out and there's no personality to him. And I'm like, well, you know, and he's like, can I give him some life or whatever because he's younger? And so it was a real delicate stepping stone that we had to walk there.
But I can't remember, did we manage to get the sentence you wanted in there?
Maybe. Go check for yourself. Go in the vent above his cell and park yourself there for a while and see if Tracer says something.
Vent above his cell? How do you do that? How do I get up there? Because I can't jump up there. The vent above his cell, that's what they said. You can get up there, but how? Oh yeah, that's why I remember this being so quick, because it's super fast. But yeah, it's just like a small little DLC thing where like, because that's also a thing that was like very of the time. Because it's like, even if you did do... What can I drop real quick? I'll drop that. Because like if you did do DLC exclusive stuff, or it's just like DLC exclusive missions or DLC exclusive skins or stuff, like usually they would be either something really quick that you could do within like a couple minutes, or it'd be something that's like a reskin of something else. And it's not necessarily that they were lazy, it was more so you have to give something that was of approximate value while also not making it too big or too significant to the point where people who didn't get it or didn't get it through that specific means didn't feel cheated. Like one of the most recent examples I can think of is Kingdom Hearts 3, where like depending on where you pre-ordered, you got like a special Keyblade, but it was a reskin of one of the baseline Keyblades that you already got. That's not even too good. I think it's one of the starter Keyblades that you get, but it changed the color and it changes some of the effects, but it's not really significant. There are ways that you could theoretically maximize and use it in interesting ways, because depending on the pre-orders you get, and I think there was already a base in-game reskin of that one, where you could effectively have like you would effectively have like 3 slots of the same Keyblade, which becomes interesting when you use more Keyblade storing so that you can like keep the mode change and stuff like that, but that's not like super significant to the gameplay. Like that's a mechanic that a lot of people who just play through the game like casually never really ever had to engage with, and probably never even knew was really in the game. But it's like still there. It's still something nice. A little.
Come on, Father. How long is it going to take to break me out of here? I'm bored almost to tears. Come on, Father. How long is it going to take to break me out of here? I'm bored almost to tears.
I feel like a fake fan. Because I don't know what the line is. I'm assuming it's the bored to tears line. They gave you toast with salt? Ooh, give me these. Alright, wake up.
Tom's kid.
So my mother keeps telling me, but you are neither bell tower nor Chinese. Am I to assume my honored father is covering his back by sending you in to spring me instead of his harvesters?
Wise assumption. Let's get out of here.
I don't think so. Last time I checked, Bell Tower had a lot of firepower out there. You may have been able to slip past them with ease, but I'm thinking it's safer in here. No offense, American.
None taken. I wasn't crazy about the odds myself, but when I questioned it, I was told to give you this.
Well, well. Way to go, Father. This changes everything. Assuming they reassembled it correctly. You ready to go?
I'd feel a lot more confident about things if I knew what the device was and exactly what you intend to do with it.
You mean they didn't tell you? Not surprising, I suppose, given how much Father enjoys his little secrets. I assume you've noticed how his harvesters like to repurpose existing technology?
If you mean steal it from other people and sell it to new customers, then yeah, I noticed.
Not necessarily a practice I approve of, but not everything gets resold. Sometimes it is taken apart and reassembled into something more useful. A handheld version, for instance, that doesn't need to be implanted in the human body to work.
You're still not telling me what that thing is.
Easier if I just show you. So, shall we leave?
A portable cloaking device.
Yeah, but stick close. Your father and I have some unfinished business to take care of, and it all goes to shit if I don't get you back to him in one piece.
Don't worry about that. I'll make sure Father sticks to his promise. Maybe even get him to throw in a little extra. But as grateful as I am for your assistance, from here on in, it's every man for himself. See you later.
And he just stealths out. Because, actually, just like now that I'm thinking about it, another balancing aspect for like doing this is that an additional level, and especially if one went on for too long and it had too many, or if it had like a lot of guards, it could have thrown off your it could have thrown off the EXP curve. Which some people would be like, well, what's the matter with that? Like, I paid DLC, I paid money for this. I should be able to get as powerful as I want or whatever. But again, that whole thing of it being significant or not, like, it can't be drastic. The difference between you having a DLC or you not having a DLC for a pre-order bonus can't be that drastic. And that includes like how much EXP you could probably get, because if like the DLC gave you so many enemies that like you had a full like additional level, people who didn't get it would probably be very upset, because it's like, okay, now you're just, it's indirect, but you're selling power. How do I... to get to the Yanzu district. Guess I just go up. Could have sworn that there was another point where you could have met Tracer Tongue, but I might be misremembering, or it was some type of YouTube video. But also, going through here and leaving again, it gives you another chance of stopping by the limb clinic. But that's only if you want to. I will shoot you back. I do like that the train has to arrive when you take this route, though. It reminds me, I feel like I keep bringing it up, but like, no, I keep thinking of the Prague trains from Mankind Divided. Like, just moving in that environment was really fun. Moving and just being in that environment was really interesting and fun. I really should replay that, because the last time I played that on my, I played that on a gaming laptop, which, not ideal. It's not exactly ideal circumstances to be playing that game, especially when it came out, because by that point my laptop was already pretty old. Before I get a comment about like, yeah, shocker, gaming laptop being bad, that was what I spent that money on when I was skipping my lunch breaks.
You must get that chip back, Mr. Jensen.
I got your chip.
I got the chip. The cellars are out cold.
Excellent work. Seems Mr. Darrow was right to trust you. We will send people to take care of the terrorists. Could I see the chip?
How about you tell me what's on it first?
Blackmail, Mr. Jensen? Don't waste your time. I won't tell you anything. Besides, there are stones better left unturned. Might as well just give me the chip and leave it at that.
Alright, take it.
Trust me, it's
just
better
gives
like
up.
this anyway. You've done a great job. I thank you on Mr. Darrow's behalf. Even though this was a favor for Mr. Darrow, he believes you should be duly rewarded. Here is a payment in credits. I'm sure Mr. Darrow will wish to congratulate you
Cool,
himself.
only $1,000.
Expect to hear from him soon.
And get a nice drink with that at least.
It seems David has a flair for choosing his people, Mr. Jensen. You have done me a great service today.
Glad I could help. I just wish I knew what this was all about.
You never know.
I don't know why he just... I don't know why that cut off, but alright. Now I go all the way back down, and then it should lead me to the dockyard, and depending on how long that goes, that would make a good stopping point to do... That would make a good stopping point, so that way, I could just get all of Missing Link done next stream. Hey buddy, hey buddy, hey buddy. The ammo was wasted on you. Oh, I can't even... No, I can drop this. Drink this. Drink this. Leave the bottles by him, and then we're good. That ammo is more useful for me than it ever will be for him. Especially now that he's knocked out.
So this dialogue
Whoops.
that you have with with Tong Si-hung here was quite challenging to write in many respects. It was actually one of my favorites, but it was very challenging because we had to react to so many things. We had to react to whether
Wait, what is
you
that?
had been you'd killed the harvesters. We had to react
To Van Bruggen.
to what had happened to Ari Van Bruggen. And so there were all these variables that we had to do. And the
Ooh.
one that we almost
Yellow paint.
missed until the last moment was the fact that you might have played all of Hangsha 1 and Tong would never have met you. Because you could have snuck through the vents and eavesdropped on him.
Just
and I
realized I might
didn't
be
catch
stuck
it
in
'cause
this.
the dialogue was always starting with,
Oh,
you
this-
again.
actually, this leaves me a chance to
you've
grab
ruined
something
all
real
this,
quick.
and how do we kind of explain that he doesn't know who the heck you are until you walk in here? So we almost missed it, but we caught it, and I was very happy that we did. But Tong was a fun character, very interesting.
And also at this point, like Tong,
My back.
I mean, we just wonder how many players really make the link that the scientist Chevenko in the walk and talk at the beginning of the game that he has this really weird augmented arm, and now it's not Adam Jensen, Tong Seong has it right now. So because now you've played for about almost 20 hours, like to which extent, like
because we've never heard anything from the fans or forums or fan art or whatever in relation to that.
No.
So or even articles, reviews. I don't think
it's either nobody remembered it by that time. Oh, we
Or-
thought it was bigger than it is, and
Then-
people really don't care.
People were just like, oh, okay, cool. It's that
okay,
that guy with the mustache at the beginning. That's his arm.
The Movember guy.
Yeah, the Movember guy.
My bad.
The room as well is a good example of something that was important to us in the game.
I do really
Sounds
like these
all my
light bulbs,
stuff started
though.
with something that was important to us in the game. So this was also important to us in the game. Was every time there'd be something mundane, when like this is kind of like a boiler room or something like that.
If I do clear out
to
the
always, not
warehouse,
always,
I
but
need to.
as often as possible to give it something special. And if you look at all the
I'll probably be
dozens,
using
hundreds,
the
whatever,
assault
light
rifle
bulbs
and
in
maybe
this,
then.
it's a bit that. Say that again.
I love those.
You like them? Yeah.
So nice.
Well, see, there we go. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's kind of like that was the goal. It's like it's so commonplace in video games that hey, this is a boiler room.
Why does it feel like
here's
there's a fight
picture
I'm
of a boiler
forgetting?
room, and then the level.
No,
end up
because
with
there
being
should
just
be
like
another
a
fight
regular
before
boiler room, or I don't know. The example I give all the time
before
is
Panchea.
it has to happen in the lobby of a bank. And
Like
it
there's
just looks
something
like a
to
boring
do
bank.
before
And we always try to make sure that those places would have some spunk nonetheless. And
Yeah.
before
this
the
is what
actual
these
like
light bulbs
last bit of the
rule
game.
probably is that a boring room doesn't have to be boring, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
I want this for my bedroom ceiling.
I don't want to make it for you. It's like a lot of work.
It must be expensive in electricity, though.
Are you still running Windows XP? What is wrong with you?
You have talent, Jensen. You ever need a job, you tell me. I'll hook you up.
I take it the kid made it back in one piece.
He says I owe you a weapon. I always repay my debts. With interest.
Sure.
That's one debt paid. Now tell me what you know.
Bell Tower keeps two
I
ships
dropped my
in port.
phone.
They think nobody notices, but I keep an eye. Every couple of days, one of them loads up in the middle of the night and
I don't know
sails out.
why. I feel like I've been getting a lot
A
more
wise
clumsy
man doesn't
lately.
ask. I just know the Heizen suit pulls out tonight. And where she make port, I bet you find your scientists.
That's a whole lot of maybe, Tong.
True. But maybe you lucky more times than I can count.
Bell Tower runs tight security. How do you expect me to get on their ship?
One of my boys will leave a package inside a locker for you in an equipment shed. You find it, we talk, and I tell you what to do next.
That's
I'll
the
be waiting
C4
with
that blows me
bated
up.
breath, I'm sure.
So what did he give me? Fuck. Fuck. Whatever. What do you mean? How much space does a grenade launcher take? Fine, I'll drop this. You're killing me. I don't need these. And I can also drop this. You are insufferable. But let's just drop. So just use this. Oh, that's big. I didn't expect that to be... That sucks. I'm gonna probably have to drop some of the hacking stuff then. Because I'm gonna have to make like a real value judgment. Because I do want the heavy rifle ammo, but I'm probably not gonna use it. Because it's either the heavy rifle or the free hacks. I'd rather take the free hacks then. Free hacks, typhoon ammo, no explosives. I think that's fine. One more glitch before they convince you that you need it. You're not gonna trick me. I've been through this before.
So now we're into the sewers that lead up to the seaport map. Actually, when we look at the lower Angsha map, and the fact that the seaport, obviously, it's on the shore, on the seashore. The way of the geography, the way we build the city, and we didn't have a real credible access to the seaport, and like the seaport technically is much more farther down the road, and we were like, okay, how do we cope for that? Like, how do we fix that? And we thought, like, you know what, Jensen just going to walk into a sewer, and then is going to get out in the seaport, and therefore, since he will have no point of reference, it will buy the fact that it's totally illogic.
Just
and,
obscure it, and then you'll be fine.
It worked well.
And it works.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, we're lying a little bit to you. That's also why you get one more chance to buy and sell stuff while you're here. Though I should have just increased the inventory space. Because I'm gonna get like one more praxis kit. Yeah, you know what? I will. Because I'm gonna get like one more praxis kit, then the DLC is gonna kick in. Which is gonna reset my praxis anyway. Then once we leave there, it'll reset my praxis back to normal, and then after that is the end of the game anyway. Look at that JPEG.
So here we have what I think is one of the very, very top, most beautiful places in the game. Again, it's all about seeing the double-decker city. Another great matte painting done by Meduzart here in Montreal.
The Sick Vista.
We call it the Sick Vista. It's just good. It's just so great to see something that's probably the most sci-fi thing in the entire game. Like, it could fit in any space opera thing almost, if you look at the kind of mechanical design that we gave it and all that. But yet this very kind of 20th century city that's at the bottom of it, and the very normal kind of docks and piers things and oil refinery things we have in the foreground. So great contrast here. Very impressive stuff.
And it's funny that one of the reasons it's so good is that you see it from a ladder climb, and that is
as you come out.
Yes, as you come out. So that forces the camera to look at it, and it's just it's breathtaking.
It gives a good sense of scale as well.
Yeah.
How huge that is.
And something that made me very happy on top of how successful it is that this is the first time that we truly shown the game to the public. This was at E3
why is that?
2010, if I'm not mistaken, and this is
like phasing in now.
We started in Hangsha, but we culminated in that part, and I was always like, every time, like, we must have demoed it like, I don't know, 100 times during E3, but every time that you know, we were coming out of that sewers and that vista was opening, I was always like, yes.
But demoing it at E3 I always felt so guilty demoing it, because I knew that at E3 your briefer was Malik. And yet I knew that because we kind of adjusted the story for the demo, but I knew that it wasn't going to be Malik because we didn't know if Malik was dead or alive here, and it had to be Tong instead. So that was always for me while I was demoing, going, yeah, okay.
It's a small lie.
It's a small lie, just a
Very
small
small.
one. But
There was a bigger lie. in
Yeah,
all
but
of that.
we'll talk about it in another beacon.
Yeah?
Yeah. And the other thing, like, speaking of lies, it's I remember
Oh, I
like
didn't know I
when
could
we
jump up here.
we get to get out of the ladder, like Steven said,
Well,
and now we absorb
nice
this
boat.
big structure of Angsha. Now we start to infiltrate the place, and for the first part of the
I-
demo,
is it even,
obviously we're
like,
still
am
making
I,
the game, and the AI was still so buggy
That's
at that
the lie
point.
I was talking
People-
about.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the other one.
No. So many lies, eh?
So many lies.
It's a conspiracy.
Like Eliza says, trust no one because everybody lies. And we, for the first part of the demo, we had to totally shut down the AI. They were just doing their patrols, but you could have jumped all
They-
over the place.
they
You
didn't
could
know
have
whether that Adam was there.
you could have shot the gun. You could have done whatever you wanted. They would have never reacted to you.
So that's we're at E3 playing it like, oh my god, he almost saw me.
And what's funny is that it was
Oh.
ensuring the experience,
Oh. Yeah.
but
I
if
just go
we
into
were
here.
screwing up our
Critical path.
choreography,
Yeah, choreography.
then it would
People
it
would have
fall apart.
realized, well, he should have seen you. Like you're mentioning, like this thing is all hard and stealthy, and you were just right in front of him.
And also, it's another map, the seaport, where we wanted to really reinforce somehow through emails the concept of the kidnapped woman.
Yeah.
That it became the inspiration for
It became the inspiration for the
DLC,
The Missing Link, which came after, because it was always something we wanted to have, is to explain that women were being kidnapped and that they were eventually going to be in the High Ground Project. But the actual story, as we had written it for the game, didn't really support that strong enough. We had nothing. We tried in the seaport to reinforce it a bit more with emails hanging around it here and stuff, but we never did. So when it came time to do a DLC, we said, that's the story we're going to tell. And it kind of was the impetus for making The Missing Link.
That has an interesting, unfortunate knock-on effect, which is why it probably also sets why it takes place here. Because it's like, wanting to do that so late means that you're just not gonna... it means that, like, you're not gonna... Like, people who've played through the game before are gonna have to get, like, all the way back through here. Well, no, that was only an issue for... That was only an issue for the director's cut, because they integrated it more. If I remember correctly, originally... Oh, it's killing something. If I remember initially, you could just activate the Missing Link DLC, and it would start you there. Which is also why they, basically give you a full reset on your, Praxis. Because they wanted people to have access regardless. Like, they wanted to give people access to it, but because it was also so late in the game, they're like, okay, how do we justify resetting player progressions? Because by this point, what is that? Because by that point... Oh? Because by that point, we would have, like, a bunch of practice kits. What is this? Storm wall. Because, like, we would have had a bunch of practice points, so it's just like, how did they make that work? And the answer is just reset. Just give the players a full reset of their skill allotment. Skill allocation. So you do that, and then bam, you can have anybody start from wherever you wanted. But that also means that anybody who was playing this game through, like, again for Director's Cut, I could have just done that. Whoever was playing this again through Director's Cut, they would have to replay through a disproportionately, like, large amount of the game. This sucks.
Keep 'em busy. Reload.
Your fault. This is why you don't shout when you're reloading. I'm just gonna keep throwing these, cause like why not? Please. Hi buddy, sit there. No, 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 no. Okay, we can't go there. Ooh. This is, without a doubt, the most messy I have ever done this segment. But you know what? As long as I'm not dying, then it's perfectly fine. Cost structure, profit, now, then. Trank sniper. You're not an enemy, are you? No. I'm gonna assume you're not. Because otherwise it's gonna be really stupid that I'm holstering my gun.
Sure could teach my boys some tricks, Jensen.
Tom?
Right?
How did you get this frequency?
Ancient Chinese secret. Now listen, you're going to plant that package in Administrator Wang's office. Put it on the bastard's desk and trigger it. Sound good?
Sounds like I'm doing you a favor. How does it help me?
The explosion should distract the guards. Then you hop in a cargo pod and off you go. But you only got one shot. No turning back once you trigger that thing, you get me?
I got you. Only set it if I'm ready to go.
I can just run through here. It'll be fine. If anyone gets in my way, then it's their fault. Okay, there has to be like a security room. That's a lot of dudes. Ah. Forgot about that part. How do I go? There has to be a way through this. We can think through this. By we, I mean me, and by think, I mean get in a good position where I can start firing. Yeah, no, this one, kinda sucks. Is there really no really good way through this? Because if not, I'm gonna have to deal This is not the ideal type of dealing situation. But you know what? My ammo and stuff resets here anyway. Plus, I have a neat grenade launcher I can use. How that still hit me. That one hurt. I'll give you that much. Oh, that's really strong. Damn. This game gets so much easier when you have the laser sight on. Goodbye, loser. One thing that is pretty funny, but not like really. Once you place the bomb, there will be no turning back. So set the bomb.
Shit!
About on time, too. Don't know how they didn't see him, but oh well. Oh yeah.
So that distraction wasn't just for me, was it, Tom?
Yeah, you get that little cutscene if you also got the, if you had gotten the pre-order mission.
Richard, I'm going off the grid for a while. Not sure how long.
Why? What are you up to, Jensen?
Following a lead.
And where exactly is this lead taking you?
You there! Get that cargo, clear the fire! We're pulling out now! Load it! Secure those bombs!
Answer me, Jensen. Where are you going?
Hell if I know, Pritchard. Hell if I know.
And so, that is what leads you into the missing link.
I'm curious who she might be. Who are you? And what are you doing on my ship?
Bell Tower keeps 2 ships important. We're going to plant that package in administrative.
So this cutscene's really funny if you're playing this in a director's cut, because this is the intro scene of The Missing Link, which is supposed to give you context as to when this happens whenever you play it, because if you just got it as DLC.
You the cruise director? Because I've got a complaint.
You think you're funny, do you? Well, let's see how funny you feel after Lieutenant Keitner gets through with you. Lieutenant?
It's useless to resist. This chair has a built-in EMP field generator. Your augs are nothing but dead metal right now.
Is that so?
No doubt they will have reset to Factory Zero. You need a limb clinic.
You can't have it both ways, you know. You can't play the good cop when you've been playing the bad cop.
You think you're clever, don't you? But this ship is heading to a bell tower naval base, a military facility for the confinement and interrogation of unprivileged belligerents. And when we get there, we're going to take you apart.
You can always try.
Trust me, Burke will. He's very good at what he does. Still, when they found you in that cargo container, you did manage to take out a number of highly trained men. Tell me something, Hotshot. Do you enjoy taking people's lives?
Doesn't keep me awake at night when I do. How about you, sweetie?
I'm not the one planting bombs and blowing up dockyards, darling.
Listen, it was a mission objective. You're gonna expect me not to do it?
Like hell you don't. We may not know who you are yet, but Burke's running your profile as we speak. High-grade combat spec augmentations, built to be somewhat unnoticeable so you blend in with the civs. Someone spent an awful lot of money creating you.
Lucky me.
So I guess the real question is, are you a terrorist? Or some kind of corporate thief?
Would you be happier if I told you that I'm neither?
You have absolutely no idea of the shit you're in, do you? Rifleman Bank Station is a black site. It's off the grid. No one will come and rescue you. No one even knows where it is. You'll be dropped into a deep, dark hole and never see the light of day again.
Like Batman.
Stew on that for a while, tough guy. Commander Burke and I are returning to the base. Keep a close eye on him. You've secured his gear?
Yes, sir. Locked in one of the rooms upstairs, sir.
Good. Then you have your orders.
Pritchard. Are you there? Pritchard? Damn it.
Hey, I got up.
So we're joined right now by some special guests. These 3 gentlemen were very instrumental in helping to create the Missing Link.
Hi, I'm Hubert Corriveau. I was the environment director on the DLC, which was mainly coordinating environment, the production of environment.
My name is Frank McCann. I was the senior level designer working on the whole cargo, so the ship was mine at some point.
And Antoine Teasdale. I was a game designer on the Missing Link.
And one of the first challenges we faced when we did the Missing Link was having to basically create that chair and find a reason that we could take away Jensen's augmentations, right?
Yeah, removing the augmentations to weaken the character of Jensen, introduce as well the main bad guy Burke was such a challenge. At the beginning, we wanted to have Jensen's like almost held on the ceiling through chains, and then once he gets also free from his constraints, we're actually falling on the ceiling, very weakened, all bloody.
To really
and stuff.
stress that vulnerability.
Oh my god! But just technically trying to do that was very very difficult. So we said, you know what, just reusing Jensen sitting in the chair was much more easier, and then we went from a very conceptual type of design for the chair.
Basically the most overwrought assets in the DLC. We spent around 10 days just doing the chair to try and convey that it's an impressive chair that could disable Jensen.
And could shut down all his augmentations.
Augmentation, that's right. That was actually an early decision in the design to strip the player from all augmentations and equipment. We sort of wanted to make a bit of a statement that the game is not just action, it's also stealth, and get a player into a position where you can actually figure out how to actually get out of this chair, this constraints, this whole environment is very alien to him.
And we actually had a lot of problems with them making sure the multipaths were obvious, weren't we?
Yep, because just starting from the chair and then moving on to the corridors and the next steps was pretty difficult.
But we did it.
So that... You also get like a news report for like immediately after the Hangsha explosion. But yeah, that is probably where I'll end for now. So that way, all of Missing Link. Yep. Back to Factory 0. Also conveniently enough, your glitches don't ever really come up during this DLC because they don't know if you got the new chip or not, so they can't really factor that into anything. Also, it'd be annoying if just during random segments you would get kind of stopped. So, yeah, this is probably where I'll stop for now, so that way next time I stream it'll just be... I'm pretty positive I'll be able to do all of Missing Link like next stream, because it's not too long. It's like a good healthy chunk. I remember this being like actually fairly open and there being a lot of different paths that you can take. But yeah, because I remember it is Missing Link. It is the place that you go to after this. I gotta remember to save. It is Missing Link. It is the place you go to after that, and then it is the end of the game. So like 2 more streams and then this'll be it. No, I don't really have any notes. So thank you for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. It's been a lot of fun going through this game again. It is kind of funny going through, the game again. This will be actually my second time ever actually playing Missing Link, because I only played it once when it first, I think it's when it first came out. Or no, not when it first came out, when I played the director's cut, when I played this the first time, when I played director's cut, because I never got Missing Link when it actually came out, but I was able to get director's cut for pretty cheap when I started playing more on PC. So it gave me a chance to not only play through this game again on better specs, but it also gave me an opportunity to finally play this DLC. So the next stream is probably going to be the one where I'm the most rusty, since that one's going to be me really going, really figuring things out, since I'm going to be going for a completely different route. Missing Link also just has a lot of very interesting things in it. It's definitely like, it's gonna be really weird playing this and then going to the end of the normal game, because they very much clearly learned a lot of lessons from the base game development and then apply those lessons here, but then playing through it in director's cut is like, you're getting a very unique hump in terms of game design, because Missing Link is, like, from what I remember, like, it was incredibly interesting. It was really fun. It was definitely a lot more cohesive than the base game. But again, that will be for next week. So yeah, if you're looking forward to it, feel free to follow on Twitch. You can follow me on Blue Sky, join the Discord server down below. I've been doing better at making sure that people get pings whenever the VODs or streams go up. So, yeah. I hope you have a wonderful morning, noon, or night, no matter when you're watching this. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Johnny.